Not when we should know better.
All right. And by this point, someone should know
have
better.
learned.
Yep.
As
Like
a
that.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Casual Cactus and the Glassbreakers Guild. We were just having a philosophical discussion behind the scenes
Yeah,
as
about
we get
dice.
started
About
tonight.
dice.
Welcome back to the stream. We are coming back to you. We did miss last week for reasons, and we are short Nat today. Best wishes to her. Loves, kisses. Hopefully she'll be feeling well enough to rejoin us next week. But if not, we totally get it. We totally understand because baby is due very soon. So
Oh man.
good for that. Good for her for that. So just a few quick announcements as we get started here tonight. As always, you can check us out on YouTube. All of our back episodes, any video content we put together can be found on our YouTube. Chief among those, obviously, the replays that we will be of sessions, much like we'll be doing tonight. You can find all of those back episodes there on YouTube. You can also find one-shots that we do. You can find our cover your assets that we do. Which is making custom content for D&D. So you can go check all of that out on our YouTube channel. In addition to that, we do also run our Discord server. It's a good place to keep in touch with us, reach out and interact with us when we're not live streaming. Good place to get information, news about what's going on here in this little dungeon. We do also have Kyrie and Danny's creative streams put announcements up there as well. So good places to keep in touch with all of us when we're not live streaming. So be sure you check those out. Final announcement, as always, is just a shout out. This is for panstreams.co.uk, providing sound effects and music for Steven for Alma's spellcasting. Really cool guys. They're not charging us anything for using that, so we are going to definitely recommend them and send you guys their way. So, with that, we come to the part of the evening where someone gets to do a recap. Who would like to do said recap?
Yeah.
We
Not me,
we
'cause I
did.
wasn't
I
there.
mean, more specifically, you two.
No, she's there too.
So,
I
Danny?
was not.
Oh!
I was not here.
How about we have
And my
someone on that
camera.
side
No,
of
no,
the
you
table
weren't here
for-
physically,
Oh,
but
no,
your
hang
character
on.
was.
What's happening?
My,
his camera.
my camera is...
Oh,
what
it's
is...
frozen?
No!
that's a cute face though.
Yeah,
He does have
it's
a
cute
cute
face.
What's what?
What'd you do?
Can
I
I still
don't...
hear?
Oh, that's...
Did we lose the stream or just?
No, didn't lose the stream.
No.
Stream was still up. Just
Just
the camera. I'm not sure why the camera did what it did, but it did the thing. So, yay! Fun.
Until Daddy takes the T-bird away.
Anyway, so yeah,
Dang it.
Musical triggers, man.
musical Tourette's. So who's doing the recap for us?
I am.
All right.
The only one that took notes.
Yes, I have the notes. Okay. So, we meet up with adventurers at the tavern, kicking Aragorn out of his corner. Sorry, can't talk. Killian tries to recruit them into his plan for bringing the shifters into town, and they would be trainers for the new guard. There is a song lyric that I have written here, something, "He who is king at Augur's Fall." Part of a song from Bard Brain.
Because originally the adventurers were only here before the kobold stuff to see if they could find the dwarven place
Yeah.
known as Augur's Hall.
Can we just
And
call him
there's-
Brian now?
Sure. I
Brian,
don't
Brain,
know what that
whatever.
second word was supposed to be, but now he's Bard Brian. There's another part from that is east plus west, east and west, and south is north.
East is
And
west,
East
not
is
east and west.
Sorry, and south is
Australia?
north. And
Directions?
nevermore shall venture
Course.
the anvil and the hammer slain, which lies beside the prince called Dane, son of he who was king at Augur's fall, or August's fall. August's
Augurs.
fall.
Augur's fall.
Augur's fall. Never mind.
Digging tool, an auger.
I always want to end that with son of he who was king under the mountain.
Son of Dane.
Officers ask Alma and company to mend uniforms, and he tells his dad about Akarai, amongst other things, which drives his dad to drink. Simi loses a tentacle war. Simi loses a tentacle war with Itzot, who welcomes her in with the tenets of Zoigan, which I still don't have, by the way. Yeah, that sounded weird the way I put it, and I regret nothing. Milo sees Batdorf, who has evolved past the point of needing footprints. There is an assault of an officer. Some say he was left with a note hanging around his neck, but officers neither confirm nor deny. The next morning, Killian finds Drax's shop burned down. He heals him in his shop and tells him to be a mummy for a bit. The dwarf box has been stolen, maybe by Batdorf. Batdorf thief is actually a goblin. We track him down. This is the way that the brain worked.
There's a lot of assumptions, all made very quickly there.
Oh, well, I mean, I had to write as I went. Then there is a holy fuckballs. That's a lot of bad guys around that shiny white doorless wizard tower.
Truth.
Yes, indeed. We discuss how to handle the situation and end up sending Castian and Killian back for more help and info while the rest watch the site. Our tentative plan involves setting off an avalanche to take out the minions. But wait, the Empire has the town locked down and the guys aren't allowed to leave. And my ex is there to investigate.
That's right. I believe that's everything.
Holy shit balls! Holy shit balls!
Yep.
So everybody took out insurance on their homes and farms and stuff, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna be able to cash out when we burn everything to the ground, right?
I can't legally take out insurance, my friend.
I'm not legally who I say I am. So
I mean, that's not a problem.
Well, I mean, my home's not even there, so.
True.
Neither is mine.
Wait, I'm a good guy. I'm a good guy.
And we
Yes.
were
Yep.
sending messages back to you too,
Yes.
but I don't remember if they would beat you guys.
We are the message.
You are
guys
the
are
message,
messengers.
okay.
You.
All right, so let us begin this evening with Mizuki.
Okay.
Seeing as how you were not with us last session that we played,
Yes.
Yeah, what were you doing?
we
while we
we
went
need to get
gallivanting?
you a little bit
Yeah,
what's
caught
that guy's
up.
name?
Messing shit up, probably.
What was your plan? Because there was a month gap
Yes.
between the previous two sessions. So what was your plan for that month?
Let's see. I was trying, probably trying my best to get in Lars's good graces.
Okay. Anything else in particular?
Also, let's see. I think, possibly helping Killian with a few of his projects.
Okay.
And also making copies of keys.
Copies of keys.
Yeah.
Any keys specifically?
Are people
Every
supposed
house
to
in
know
town.
you have copies?
No.
The town's master
Like,
key.
She would have asked for Cabbage's help
Okay.
in obtaining the keys and then
Oh, great.
like returning them. Cause it.
Now we know
so-
why the town won't lock down.
What?
Nothing. Keep going.
Yeah, Tom, go ahead.
Okay. Well, Okay, so Cabbage is willing to help you, but she's also decided that with recent events, she needs to spend some time out of town.
Okay, yeah.
So she helps you on the first couple, and then
I figure it was only a couple that she wanted anyway.
and then she's going to hop on not the Fortune's Folly because that's still being repaired, but one of the other riverboats. She's going to be on one of those, making a couple trips up and down the river.
Okay.
So you're not going to see her for a good long while.
Okay, so Mizuki would probably prioritize
Okay.
trying to get copies of some of the in-room keys,
Okay.
specifically the room that Prince Lars is staying in.
Imagine that. Okay.
Imagine,
Yeah.
just in
You know,
case.
you,
Just in
could
case.
probably get that by just asking him if you can have a key to his room.
Well,
I'm sure
see,
he
that's
would.
the thing.
She
That's the
doesn't.
thing.
She doesn't want him to know she's got a copy of the key to his
This
room.
is secret.
Bingo.
This is secret I mean, sure, I could that one I might even be able to just
Just get him
convince
really
him
drunk
to
first,
give
he
it to
won't
me
remember.
for a
Right.
little.
Yeah.
Be like, let me go retrieve something from your room. An hour later, I
Right.
give it back to him, but I happen to have a copy of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So the key to Lars's room.
And probably like maybe some other places in town, but well, yeah. Like
So-
maybe I don't know. Like is the town hall with the town possibly? I think she would try to get a key to the Iron Lotus office. So
That
because-
was a little more difficult just because they're in the process of rebuilding it, so they haven't actually.
Fit it
Yeah,
in
that's
rekeyed
true,
it,
that's
yeah.
true, That's true.
And
Oh, right, because you weren't. Were you here for when the entire office just collapsed?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
Yeah.
okay, so they're still in the process of rebuilding, and they haven't
Okay.
rekeyed the locks. And because of that, they're obviously not doing a whole lot. They're not
Yeah.
keeping money on the premises, so or secrets or anything like
Yeah.
that until they get opened back up, and that probably won't be until the very end of the month, or
And possibly
even
just-
longer.
Possibly just a key to their their mansion. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, bust into Killian's grandpa's house.
Okay.
Yeah, do it.
So I'm
you never know.
I'm gonna need a plan for that. How are you gonna try and get that key?
I will point out, Killian does not have a key.
Yeah,
Killian
well,
just
no.
picks the lock if he needs to get in.
That's fair.
Well,
Yeah, me
Fair.
too.
security's not the
Okay,
whole issue.
well. Okay. So she would actually probably have asked Killian about it.
Killian does not have a key.
Okay, but knowing that he doesn't have a key, she figured it would, with Cabbage's help, it would have been easy to probably have her sneak in or. I mean,
Cabbage is very sneaky. Would she be this type of sneaky though that would snag a key, or would she be more along the lines of trying to do? I don't know.
Cabbage is a pirate.
Cabbage is a pirate.
yes.
I tell you what, give me a perception roll.
Okay.
Not a persuasion roll. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Give me a persuasion roll.
Let's see. 11? That was good.
Mm. Yeah, it's gonna be real hard to convince her to do it with an
Okay.
11.
Yeah, that's fine.
Um,
I mean, she would try to convince her, but if
Mm.
obviously she wouldn't push.
yeah.
So-
That one's gonna be a tough thing to try and convince her to do.
Okay.
So probably
fair.
not.
Okay.
Now helping you get the key to Lars's room, yeah, she'd do
Okay.
that no
Oh, yeah,
sweat, no
absolutely.
problem.
No charge for that
No
one.
charge for that one
charge.
at all.
Yeah,
No-
no,
no-
charge for that one.
No convincing needed.
I mean, like, just, yeah, that's fine.
But truth be told, she maybe is a little intimidated by Killian's granddad, just a little.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
So,
But she won't admit it.
but she won't
You
admit
won't
it.
admit it.
No.
No.
So you've got the key to Lars's room. Were you looking for other keys to other rooms at the inn? Because she would help.
Possibly, yeah.
Okay, so she would help you with that. So any of the keys to the inn that you wanted, basically.
Would there be a master key to the inn? That the innkeeper would have that could just open all the doors so he doesn't have to carry around a bunch of keys?
No,
No.
it's not that big.
Yeah.
You know,
There's
the
not that
town's not
many
that big,
rooms.
so
Yeah.
the inn's not that big. There's not that many rooms.
Yeah.
Carrying half a dozen, maybe 10 keys, not that big a deal. So any of those keys that you wanted to have,
Okay.
you'd probably be easy enough to get.
Okay.
Um,
Obviously, I already have one of them. so-
right. You've got yours, obviously, and any of the others that you
Okay.
wanted to get would be easy
All right.
enough. Not so much for the mansion up on top of the
Okay,
hill,
that's
but
fine.
anything else that you were wanting to try and get.
Town hall? Also, is there?
There's actually not a
Is
lock
there
on
no
town hall
locks?
because
Okay.
they don't keep the
They
town
don't keep-
coffers there.
Yeah, there's nothing of value there.
There's nothing of value there. It's basically a meeting hall. There might be a desk or two,
Okay,
but it's
then she
mainly
would want a key to. Does the mayor or the innkeeper / mayor? Does he stay in the inn?
yeah. He's got a
Yeah.
he and
so
his wife
would,
have a room
She
there.
would want a key to his
Okay,
room.
that one's gonna be a
I hang
little.
out with such shady people, man.
That's gonna be a little harder to get a hold of, just because that one
Says
is
cultist.
separate from
From
the
yeah.
room keys.
Okay.
Um,
I mean, so she once she has the copy, she returns the
Right.
She would have Cabbage help her return the keys.
right.
So
I'm just saying it's probably a little bit tougher to get
Yeah.
those. It's not impossible. We don't have Stephen, do you happen to remember off the top of your head what Cabbage's sleight of hand is?
I don't, but I can find out in like 2 shakes and a tilt for there.
Okay.
okay.
1.
2. Oops. And a shake. Don't forget to shake. Plus 7.
Shake.
+7. Okay.
Plus seven.
So I'm gonna have you roll 4 cabbage.
Okay, that's fine.
And you'll need to do it twice, once to get the key and once to put it back.
Okay. Could I provide a distraction and then give her advantage on the roll, or
I mean, presumably you
Yeah.
you would be going to do that anyway,
Yes,
so
okay.
yes.
okay?
2 secure points.
Wow. Okay, that was not a good roll. This dice does not like me. Plus 7.
Yes, +7.
13. Wait, no. Yeah, 13.
Okay. Well, that's plenty.
Oh, okay.
And then to put it back?
Yeah. $23.
Yeah, that's plenty.
Okay.
All right, so you've got that key
All right.
now. If now that you want it,
All right. Perfect.
and the key is back, and he is none the wiser.
All right. Good to know. Just just in case.
Okay. You do start to spend more time with Lars. He is receptive to all of that,
Okay.
to spending time with you. Although you do notice that he is fairly distracted these days, and he's not real communicative as to why. But he's definitely, his mind is on other things. Even when he's with you, he's not really with you a lot of the time. He's sort of got that million-mile stare going where he's just sort of thinking to himself. He does also start to spend quite a few nights out at the garrison, mulling things over with and having high-level meetings with the commander out there. About 4 weeks or so after you guys got back into town, you see a column of the Imperial soldiers march in from the direction of the garrison, and they start setting up checkpoints around town. And anyone who is in town trying to leave town, they turn them back and tell them that they can't leave until they've spoken to Lars specifically. Lars has set up in the main meeting room of the town, so the town hall meeting room. He's set up in there to do interviews with people to determine what they know about whatever it is he's talking to people about.
All right. Mizuki would probably either try to contact him while he's doing interviews.
Okay.
You okay?
Yeah.
All right.
She's pretty certain that
Thought face.
she would just be a priority at that point.
All right. Well, I mean, he's easy to find. He's in the town hall,
Yeah.
and
alright, so
and he's
she
sitting there.
Goes
Hard
to
to
the
find.
town hall.
When he sees you walk in, he stands up. He gives you a formal bow, "Milady, what can how can I help you today?"
I just I noticed the Imperial troops have they're blocking people from leaving the town.
Yes, there are subversive elements about, and we need to know what these people
Good
know.
word.
I see. But I was just wondering, I mean, as my business or other things, and it might be, I mean, it would be a real inconvenience if I wasn't able to leave town.
Of course. And seeing as you are not native to these lands, I would be quite surprised if you were to know anything. However, just pro forma, I do have to ask a few questions of you at this time.
Of course, I'm happy to answer anything.
Do you personally know anything about shapeshifters in the area?
Shapeshifters.
Yes.
Here?
Yes. We have it on very good authority that there's a nest of the beasts about.
Huh.
Is Alma sleep in a nest?
No, but he does have a nest.
Yeah, he does.
No, I haven't heard anything of that, about
Native
that.
soldiers.
And I'm going to need a deception
Okay,
check
yeah.
at this
Big
point.
high thoughts. Big high thoughts.
My dear, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Damn it, Janet!
Don't make me get the poking stick out.
Dang it, Bobber.
Do you or does anyone you know harbor ill feelings towards the Empire? No.
No, of course not.
Meanwhile, Killian's building pipe bombs.
Killian is the IRA.
16?
16?
Yeah.
We are gonna do that,
Yeah,
aren't
that's
we?
plenty. So, I thought not, but I did have to ask, of course.
Of course.
Do you? What else might I need to be? You don't know of any sort of illicit trade in magical items
Magical items?
coming into town? Yes.
Technically, you don't trade.
They're not coming into town.
Oh. You do.
I mean,
I do.
They're not coming into town.
I haven't heard anything about trading magical items. No.
Okay, very, very good.
I mean,
Um,
and I feel like I would know if there were.
I would think, well, I would, first of all, I would hope that you wouldn't.
Well, I
Or,
mean,
or that if you did, you would have already reported
yes,
it
of
to
course,
me,
of course.
Um,
Absolutely.
Very well. That will suffice, I believe. If you wish to leave town, and he sort of writes out a little paper with a flourish, seals it. You have leave, obviously, to make any sorts of trips that you need to.
I appreciate your time.
Same.
Oh, okay.
Was there anything else?
Just, I mean, I understand that you're busy, but
Yes, unfortunately, these interviews will take up a goodly portion of my time. I'm afraid I won't have much time to spend with you, my lady.
I
Well,
am happy to be patient. And may we have the opportunity to spend time again soon.
And he gives you another bow and sort
She
of motions to the
curtsies
door for the next townsperson to be brought into town.
There's gonna be a sudden influx of hall passes.
It is. So the next person coming into town is actually Eric. So it's Killian's grandfather.
Ooh, he's good.
I wave at Eric.
Okay. And then as you step outside, the town hall, a couple of things strike you. No, you are aware of a couple of things straight away. First off, you do see Killian and Castian walking into town. They do have one of the Imperial soldiers as a guard to them as they're coming into town. And as you watch, they are actually being passed by a group of about 4 or 5 people on horseback coming into town. They are strangers to town. They are all dressed in robes of the Apellian Order.
They're not all strangers.
And
Do I recognize one of them?
at the head of the line, yes, there is a face that you recognize. It is a face that Alma has, yes, has worn before. It is the face of
What's his name?
Akarai.
Akarai. Yes, it is the face of Akarai Ross. And as he they pass Killian, you see this look of panic on Killian's face.
I don't know. Would we have a panic?
I will.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, because
I
I'm
will
also
go toward.
at this point the guard has told us that the town is on lockdown because they found subversive elements. I don't know which subversive elements they're referring
Okay,
to,
well-
so I'm a little worried.
I'm gonna walk toward Killian.
All right.
Good graces, good graces. Yes, yes.
Yo, bro.
Killian probably has the look of like he's contemplating burning down the town.
Innocence by association, right?
So Akarai and his party do ride past you. They acknowledge you and make sure that they're not going to ride you down or anything like that.
This time.
They ride up to the town hall where Akarai dismounts. One of the other party members holds the reins of his horse. He goes in and is he goes into town hall and disappears into there.
Okay.
And about this time, you meet up with these two.
Lars was the only one in town hall, right?
Uh,
Besides,
Lo-
like, obviously his
Lars and Eric.
Lars and Eric. Okay.
Were there guards in the
Yeah,
town
were there
hall?
guards?
'Cause he
They're
didn't
not
bring
in the room, but out front.
Okay.
So
soon worse.
Are any of my retainers there, or are they?
No, all of your retainers are in the inn.
Okay, perfect.
All of your retainers
All of my retainers, yeah.
now work for ours.
They're still my family retainers.
So, for how long? That's left to be seen.
All right.
All right.
So the two of you, Castian and
Yeah.
Killian, you do see Mizuki walking your direction, passing Akarai and company.
Killian.
Howdy.
Oh, that
Greetings.
Hi. How are you?
I'm just fine.
There's a guard right there.
I'm well. I just.
Where was the guard taking us to?
Wherever you were going.
Okay, because I don't think we were going
So,
anywhere
I
specific.
don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I just go to
Our
the
plans
inn.
all got thrown out of our
Yeah,
Right.
he was just kind of going along with you wherever you
Okay.
were going. He is your escort. He's not taking you anywhere. He's just
Making
your
sure-
escort,
Make
making
sure
sure
that
you
you-
don't leave
Yeah.
town.
I see you have an Imperial escort.
Yup.
Is there a reason? And she would direct us
Oh,
toward
What was the guard's name?
She would direct
'Cause
us
we were
toward
talking
the
with him.
guard.
Bob. No.
I don't remember if I gave
Prince
him a name.
Albert.
I think it was something generic like George.
George.
Yeah.
I don't know, George. Why do we have an escort?
Is there a problem?
No problem. Just making sure that you're not planning on leaving town.
Oh no. No.
Well, now we are
Well-
obviously not going to leave town with everyone watching the roads.
Okay. I was just ordered to escort you. I'm just doing what I'm told.
So
And a fine
you're
job you
saying
have
you're
done.
being paid to be an escort?
He's part of an escort service.
So my room's at the inn.
Yes, I see.
No, this fine gentleman was explaining to us what was going on and just making sure we were on our way.
Ah, yes, of course. I
got drunk.
I
It's a
think
no
it's,
man.
it's fine.
This is fine. Everything's fine.
It's fine.
You're,
You're dismissed.
I mean, I'm welcome to take over and make sure that
Well, it
they-
takes him a moment, but he finally sort of places you with Prince Lars.
Oh,
and
like,
of course, my lady.
Yes.
If you are taking these fine gentlemen into your yes, of course,
Yes,
and he sort of
absolutely.
bows his way back, and he bows away from you guys, and once he's out of whatever
Earshot.
circle there is, he turns and heads back to the checkpoint.
Okay.
So what exactly is going on? Or should
We should go to
we
private.
can go to my inn.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
go to
become
the
a
inn.
very, very
Let's
long
go to my room.
explanation.
So what happened was,
Get to your shop, get what you need to
So
get
do we,
out.
other than the guards being around the like having checkpoints and being around town hall, do we see any other places that they appear to be like? Does it look like they barged into any door, kicked down any doors, taken over any other parts of
No,
town?
nothing like that.
Okay.
They're not barging in any places. Anyone who's trying to leave town, obviously, they're
Right.
sort of turning them back and taking them to town hall. There was two or three guards that had that had come down the road with sort of escorting your grandfather to visit with Prince Lars. Not that you saw that, but Mizuki would have.
Yes.
Just sort of looking around, it looks, if you didn't know that there were checkpoints out on the road, maybe the guards around the town hall would be a little bit odd, but otherwise it looks like a normal
And there
day.
doesn't seem to be any townsfolk I don't recognize that are just sort of like sitting around.
No,
Okay.
no, I mean, it looks fairly calm, fairly normal as far as that goes. It's just,
And
You just know it's
Right.
not.
In Elvish, Mizuki's going to say to Killian, they were escorting Eric into town hall to talk to Lars.
Well, shit. Okay, so all they told us was that they found subversive elements. What exactly did
we
they
will
find?
discuss once we get to my room.
Okay. All right.
This is definitely a conversation behind closed doors.
Sure. Yep. Let's go.
I mean, are you wanting to just bust in and get him out right now?
Well, that depends what they know, doesn't it?
Well, maybe we should walk by your place just to see if.
We would have walked by it on the way in.
Did we?
And I'm assuming since I didn't see a whole bunch of people carting out magic items
Yeah.
out of my
Okay,
basement,
okay.
I'm good.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
I'm safe.
Okay.
For now.
Yep.
We could walk by your father's house and see.
Mizuki,
Yes, Killian?
what is the likelihood that my grandfather is about to be arrested within the next hour?
Even
How good of a liar is your grandfather?
How good a liar is my grandfather? That could go one of two
We
ways.
had to do this for a long time.
He's made a lot of money.
Okay, he's fine.
He's a decent.
Not all of it has been
Legitimate.
honest. He is a businessman.
He's a businessman.
He'll be okay.
He's a politician.
So Lars is not looking specifically for him.
I mean, as far as I...
Great, let's
No.
go to your room and discuss exactly
Yes.
which subversive
Yes.
elements they found.
Yes.
Because there are a lot.
Alright.
So the next generation of people, we're going to teach them how to hide stuff better.
Right?
Okay, we're going to.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you guys are going to Mizuki's
Yes.
room. You guys get up there easily enough.
Okay.
Nobody stops you or anything like that.
And I'm assuming there's probably not anyone else there.
No, no one else is there.
Okay. Since, yeah. Lars asked me about shapeshifters.
Did you ask him what he knows about them?
There's a nest
Well-
of them somewhere.
Been nesting
No, but he asked whether or not I knew anything about a nest or
Do
So-
you...
So you had the official interrogation. You had the official interrogation. They were saying they were
Yes.
interrogating everyone.
yes, I'm free to leave town when I want.
How do they know if you're free or not?
I have this.
Oh,
And Killian's light bulb goes off.
that!
May I examine that?
Of course.
I am going to
Castine, get to work.
examine
Get to work while we're discussing.
every single detail of it.
So while you're doing that, I'm just gonna look over your shoulder real fast. Pull out a piece of paper.
Thank you.
Nope, I'm gonna
What are you doing?
lay my piece of paper over it. Just hold on. I'm gonna flatten it out, and when I pull it away, it's an exact replica, but it has your name instead of Mizuki's.
What?
Because I can do this with one of my artificer abilities.
Oh,
you cheater!
cool.
Perfect.
And one for me.
Carbon
Okay.
paper is what he invented.
I
That's
spent
cool.
years
Right.
studying to make artificial stuff, and you just boop boop.
Well, yeah, but I can only do that like 4 times
Yeah.
at once.
He
Still
also
great.
asked
Hey, to be
about.
fair, she has an up on him because she can just like mass produce things.
I can. I mean, it takes.
Don't worry,
a bit,
someone
but-
you'll be better at something than someone else. Don't worry, your time will shine.
So
Wait,
has anyone
just wait
been
till I twist in
arrested?
a guard.
I don't think so. I
Do
mean,
they have any of the changelings? In custody?
I'm not yet.
Do
I'd
they
assume-
know if and have they said whether they suspect people are aiding and abetting them?
Clearly they are.
But do they know who?
Clearly, no.
So they suspect, but they don't know who.
Yes,
Okay, so they don't
that's
actually know
the
anything that we
questions
didn't
that
already
they've
know
been
that they
asking.
know.
That's the questions
Okay.
they've been
I know
asking.
what they think.
Is that if
Alright.
that's, I mean, the
Okay.
interview
Okay.
is whether or not, you individuals know anything about this shapeshifter nest or any activities,
Okay.
and also magic weapons, trading of magic weapons. Killian.
Was it weapons?
I haven't sold anyone any magic weapons.
I mean, I realize this, yes.
I know what
but
I said, and I know what she said. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yep.
But
Have you
That's-
sold anyone any magic weapons?
no,
Okay, then I don't think we're the ones selling magic weapons.
no, clearly we're not the ones trading or selling magic weapons, but
I
That's
do not trade or sell
a
here.
point of interest
Here,
here.
I mean, he's a hat maker.
you do not trade or sell here.
I have not sold or traded anything since I've been here.
I mean,
We're gonna come back around to that later.
If you'd like.
Oh, that was 19.
That was good. That was a 19 on the roll.
22.
So
22 insight.
I will tell you, you can make either a persuasion or a deception roll. You can don't tell us what it is, just make the roll.
We don't offer that service domestically.
Yes.
But you have to beat a whatever, a 20.
22.
You have to beat a
No, I
22.
didn't beat 22.
I rolled a 19,
Oh,
so.
he's full of it. He's so full of it.
Yeah,
He
we'll
has
discuss that
definitely
later.
You just beat me.
He has definitely traded or sold something
Well-
since he's been here.
well, that's
We
fine.
will discuss that
The truth,
later.
I mean, he's being truthful.
I
He
am
is
being
being truthful, but he is also obfuscating the truth somewhat.
Castian, we have
Yeah, we'll come back
things
to that
discuss
later.
later.
Do you know why they're looking for magic weapons?
They want them.
Because they're,
Bastards.
I mean, because they're illegal.
Right, but why do they assume that magic items or weapons are being traded here?
I'm not
That's
certain.
a good question.
It is a good question.
It's your
Right.
fault somehow.
Alrighty.
I'm not certain. Obviously, I don't know anything about that. And I mean,
Well, so
Yes.
originally, we came back to town because the box of magic dwarf stuff disappeared. And we were tracking a goblin that took it.
I don't know anything about that.
Yes, you do. You were there
were
with us. You came with us and you walked all the way out into the middle of nowhere looking for it.
I have
And
no
then we
idea.
came back. You might remember it. It was like, what we did all day. The
Oh.
only thing we did all day.
That thing months ago.
But I think that that's kind of irrelevant given certain events in town
Yes.
now.
yes.
So grab your stuff and get out.
Okay, but
So are you planning on staying in town? Because I'm not.
I mean,
Oh, that face, man.
probably not.
For the face.
So tell me about the goblins.
Okay, so how do I make this a very short and descriptive sentence? There is a magic tower in the middle of nowhere with an army of goblins and other nasty things around it, and they have the box.
Yes.
But that pales in comparison to the fact that the man that we pretended was already here like 2 months ago just rolled into town.
Yes, that is a problem.
So I'm planning on not being here till he's gone. At the very least.
I still think
That
we
is
should send the
very
army
much
up to
a
the
problem.
goblins.
Very
Army up
much
to
a
the
problem.
goblins. Provided we get a message to the other people, they should leave.
I'm not gonna lie. Right now, my biggest concern is grabbing everything that I can carry with me and leaving and not coming back.
And to hell with you
Ever?
people here.
No, we'll come back and help them later, but I can't do them a whole lot of good, given that there's a very good chance someone's going to go peeking around in my workshop and discover all the illegal things that live there.
So it's your fault.
Time to bury the badger.
Oh, we never did get
That
this
sounds
bus
like
worked out
a euphemism.
We can dig him up later, don't
Really
worry.
Bury the badger.
Bury the badger, poor badger.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's kind of where my mind's at. Is I'm gonna so Adrian and Simi and Alma are watching the army of goblins.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm thinking we grab everything of value for them and for us, and we leave town for a while.
That could be a problem.
Maybe
suspicious.
maybe
That's
you
fine.
want to stay. I don't
I mean-
want to be around.
I mean, I can probably come with you for a few days, but
Sure,
it
that's fine.
might be suspect if I up and disappear.
True.
What are you thinking, Castian? I think that any of us
I-
being in, well, Mizuki's
Especially-
probably fine. I think Alma or Simi being in town right now would be very, very, very bad.
Given our current situation and options, yes, I think we should get out while we
very,
can.
very good.
Well-
I didn't know that.
What, give him his good graces again?
Well.
I mean, we do have the letters saying we're clear,
Yeah.
but I would
leave
like to
town.
avoid displaying that as much
Also,
as
I'm
possible.
kind of thinking maybe we just leave town without them even noticing. They have a lot of people to get through.
Yeah, but they also have a lot of guards. I mean, guarding how we would get through the gates.
Keith, do they have like a perimeter all the way around town?
Not that you saw.
Yeah.
No.
I'm thinking we slip through the orchard, off into the forest,
Yeah.
cut out that way a few miles, cut back to the road, and head back down to our friends.
Over the river and through the woods.
Yep, something like that.
Or no, actually through the woods and then over the river. And then to the mountains you go.
Yeah.
But grandma's either way.
What do we do about
Sure.
Master
It's up.
Acheron.
Akron?
Oh, Akron.
Akron?
I plan on doing
Well-
nothing, because I don't know why he's here, but I suspect it's because he somehow heard that he was here a while ago.
And
How
he
would
was-
he have heard that?
I don't know, but
We must get out.
I'm
you know.
it's not a coincidence that the man
Get out.
showed up in town, like, what, a month after we impersonated him in town?
It was a little bit more than a month.
It was a little.
A little over a month.
Don't think that's a coincidence. So I'd like to not be around to be interrogated and put in prison and executed for whatever goes down.
You know,
You're right.
that's a fair point.
Fair assessment.
That's a yeah.
We definitely had to be out of jail to be able to do stuff.
Yes.
I mean, you can do stuff in jail.
Well,
You can. Just not
well,
much.
Depends what kind of jail you're in.
Yeah.
we can't do that on Twitch. No.
Okay. Alrighty.
Castian has dropped the soap before.
Getting
I
back.
You might be able to stay in town. You apparently can order Imperial Guards around at a whim. So, like, maybe you're good. I don't want to be around.
mean I have favor with the prince, so
So, gonna put you down for staying. You staying or you going?
I suppose it's best if I stay and
I-
at least try to figure out what's going on here.
I will also go, but I would like to check in on Alma's parents.
Oh yeah, no. I plan on letting people
Yeah.
know we have to talk to Olmo because
Yes.
yeah, that
I can
plan's not
help.
gonna work. Oh, we should probably go raid Alma's stash of stuff and grab anything that looks valuable for him to have.
It's a little mechanical
My
fox.
only concern is if they check us,
Five.
if they
steamer
happen to
trunks of
find us
clothes.
and check us on the way out.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
We'll burn that bridge.
If that happens, we're already screwed because I've got a bag that holds more than it should. So
I want one.
I'm planning on not getting caught.
Fair point, but you know it could happen.
If it does, I plan on killing the guards and running. That's about the point where we're at.
We could also disguise as guards.
Especially if you happen to go by my house.
How?
Exactly.
You know that.
Yes. So, last time I was there, one of the guards came in and asked to do some repair on his uniform.
So there's a single guard uniform.
No, it's like half a dozen.
There's a few. And I first off, you know, things get misplaced all the time. But second, they don't look all that difficult to replicate.
Okay. That's a good plan.
But like I said, the less that we notice, the better.
Oh yeah, no, I still would much prefer to, sneak off into the woods and not get seen at all. So that it takes a long time before they realize that I'm not around.
Like a good plan.
But we do have that option.
Good to know. We can do something with that. And hopefully if things calm down here after a while, we can come back and it's fine. We just took a very extended vacation.
To the mountainside.
Yes.
Yep.
With goblins.
Sure.
You went to Lamont's Wells for the summer.
We went to Hogwarts.
Yeah.
We should probably come up with an excuse for why we're all not around.
I mean, it happens on a fairly regular basis.
Yes.
So a thought has occurred to me.
Go
on.
So, we could say that we are off performing some work, some very secretive, very sensitive work for your family.
Yes. Of course.
And that would probably explain why we are gone and why Mizuki occasionally leaves town to communicate with us. And we just have to make up a really good excuse of the sort of secretive, special thing we're off doing that, excuses us from not being here in town.
That's not gonna work for me.
And we'll just say that you have hired all of us to
Yes.
do this work.
I mean, I would be happy.
I mean,
to
Lars
hire
knows
you.
you've been working on a special project already, so
Yes, Lars.
and we are your workers.
What
That's
special
amazing.
project does he think you're working on?
She didn't
Some
say.
new products for my.
Okay.
No,
All right.
we have to avoid him because we have not been interviewed yet.
Oh no,
So-
that's fine. See,
Yes,
here's the
that's not a.
here's the trick here. I'm thinking then. We are developing some new products that require rare and expensive components
Yes.
only found in certain caves in this area.
Yes.
And we just won't mention, but maybe we'll hint that it involves the lizard things that showed up out of nowhere. Anyway, so that's what we're off doing, and that's why we're really hard to find, because we're
That
off
would
tracking
make
down
sense.
these nests and helping clear them out and doing all that fun
Yes.
stuff. And that's
that
what you're
look
paying us to do.
Now I'm wondering what your idea was, because
You see, the lizards have a special gland, and if you boil
I
that
mean,
down, it makes a
they.
good catalyst for perfume.
That's actually not
My
a bad
business
idea.
is Red Dragon, so
Okay, so that's our cover for why we're not around.
okay.
Oh, I'm gonna have to draw you a map. So there's a spot, a good ways outside of town, probably like a day and a half from here.
Okay.
I'll get you a map. If you need to find us, that's where we'll be for the most part.
All right.
Obviously, make sure you're not followed.
Yes.
But, and I will pull out one of my sending stones, slide it across the table to you. So you can use that to send us a message, and I'll keep the other end.
Yay, cell phones.
Yep. So there's that, and we'll grab a. Yeah, no, I'm thinking we'll grab what we can, and then we'll leave town and not come back for a while.
We could do that.
Would I'll draft up some documents really quick
Awesome.
that says that you're in my employ.
Don't bring it up unless they ask where we are. Right, so like
Well,
don't
yes.
bring it up like,
No,
oh, I
yeah,
just
no,
hired
don't
them.
advertise.
Just don't say anything unless they start asking like, hey, they haven't been around forever, and then right.
Yes.
Don't mention it for as long as we can get away with not mentioning it.
Yes.
We're gonna need alcohol for Simi. We're gonna
We have some.
we're gonna need food.
That's easy. It may not hurt to have guard uniforms just in case.
Oh no,
So-
I think we borrow some of those anyway. Okay, so before we leave, we need to grab our stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We need to talk to Olmo. And I think and then talk to
Yeah.
to people's families and let them know.
Yes.
When Cabbage gets back into town,
Mm-hmm.
she could also act as a go-between, because I don't think she was involved at all with the thing with the impersonating a member of the order.
No.
Sounds like a plan.
Great. So do you want to go talk
keep
to...
my ears open
You do that.
and see what goes down.
Do you want to go talk to Alma's parents and get a couple of those...
It would be easier if we had your bag.
Oh, right. Okay. Yep, let's go do that then.
Yeah.
So in the corner of the room, a stack of books falls over.
Oh, balls.
Stab the stack of books.
All right. You have exactly 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Why would you wait?
And the envelope of invisibility surrounding a gentleman you guys recognize, or you would recognize, but the two of you actually would recognize as the school teacher, Silas, drops. Whoa!
Oh.
The school teacher.
Oh, that was the guy I wanted to talk to.
You have 10 seconds to give me a good reason why I don't kill you right now and hide your body.
My weapons drawn.
9.
Yes.
Because I
8.
cannot be questioned by the Imperials.
Why on earth can you not be questioned by the Imperials?
Well, look what he has.
No, I want to hear it from him. I want him to tell me
Wait,
exactly
wait,
why he
wait.
caused this
Do
problem.
you know something about magic items?
Ah.
Well,
And you thought this was a good room to hide in. You weren't like spying or anything.
no.
Oh no, of course
No,
not. You
I-
wouldn't dream of
I
coming in
wouldn't-
here to
no,
spy on
no,
people.
I wasn't spying.
Uh huh.
I just you
Uh huh.
you looked like you were trying to avoid them too. So I figured I might find friends in this room.
We have to have like this whole
All right.
town has
Sorry.
a problem.
It's on the edge of the empire. Everyone who has it is here.
I just
No. You're gonna sit down. You're not gonna talk.
and he sits.
You're not gonna say anything. You're gonna sit here till we finish the other stuff we came to this town to do. If you go anywhere, I swear to God, I will hunt you down and gut you like a fish. I am done dealing with this shit. You're gonna sit here till I come back, and then you're gonna come with
fine.
us, and we're gonna have a little chat. Keep an eye on him. Make sure he doesn't go anywhere. Break his legs if you have to. I'm kind of past the point where I care.
I just want to.
I don't think that's necessary.
Hug the unicorn.
Let's go talk to
Forget
some
him.
of our friends, and then we'll come back to deal with
Poor
you.
Silas.
All right, let's go.
Meanwhile, back on the mountainside.
Why didn't you bring a thicker coat?
Man, we live. We
I am
live.
I am wearing a thicker coat. I'm just not used to this environment. Okay, I lived in a cushy castle all my life. If there was snow, I was inside.
And there's no
With
fire
the
allowed.
Yeah.
Okay, so next one. So Alma's gonna step behind a tree, and he's gonna come back out looking like the mayor in his vest.
Oh, that's good.
Okay. Now
Who was that?
That was the mayor.
Okay.
You should
Man.
probably know these things. You're supposed to
you've
live
been in
this
town for a long time
Yeah.
to not know this.
So yeah, that was the
Yes,
mayor.
you've
seen
it
Commit this to memory.
Okay, so now the mayor in a ball gown.
Oh.
He's gonna make the loop around the tree and come back as the mayor in the ball gown.
Is this what we were resorted to?
Fabulous. You know
In
what?
my mind,
It's-
there's a group of goblins
The
secretly
three
watching
of
you guys
you-
that's like,
Three of you make me a perception check real quick.
Yep.
Have Inger do it as well.
I have my alarm spell up around where they are as well.
If
So it'll, yeah.
it
Yep.
had come into play, it would have. But
You said perception.
perception.
That's gonna be a 4 for Ingir and a 13
Wow.
for me. Even an advantage, I rolled a very low.
Wow.
It's a
Okay.
16.
So 13 for you, 16
17.
and 17. 16 and 17.
7, sorry.
Oh. So Ingir misses it completely. He's still trying to figure out how the clothes change. You just barely miss it, but the two of you, there's sort of off in the distance, very, very faintly over the wind, you just barely hear what sounds like the rumbling of and grating of stone on stone.
Oh, please tell me they haven't opened the door. Was there... Oh, I didn't hear.
That sounds.
Another mountain collapsing?
What?
What?
I have a funny feeling that's not so much a mountain as something in the area around the tower.
Well, what direction did it come from?
Oh wait, who
Was
was
it
supposed to be on watch, guys?
That would have been a good thing to discuss.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that because I'm not drunk yet.
we all probably should go check real quick, just in
Yeah,
case something
let's-
bad has happened.
Let's try and look around and just see, like, stay close.
Alright, and I'm gonna be a goblin again.
Not
Okay.
a mayor in a ball gown? I'm
No.
kind of disappointed.
No.
Okay.
Goblin in a ball gown.
Goblin in a ball gown. Yes, please.
At least until we get closer.
Okay. So I'm gonna check out,
Okay.
kind of.
So you guys go up the hillside. You reach the top of the ridge overlooking the goblin camp and the tower. You get down and sort of shimmy up, and you peer up over the ridge, and the tower is not there at first glance.
At first
glance.
At first glance. And then as you look where the tower was, you realize it's still there. It's only, instead of being 500 feet tall, it's a single story now. And the door that was all the way at the top is now at ground level. There is a contingent of goblins and hobgoblins standing there. They have banners up, and the door is opening.
Okay, guys, it's time for a snap decision.
No.
I mean, there's
No.
three of us versus 3,000.
Yeah. I
mean,
don't know
I don't know
how
about- I
badass
don't-
you think we are, but you're not great in combat. I only have 2 fists and Milo.
A single figure steps out of the door.
I only have this.
It's a relatively slender, very statuesque female figure wearing robes and carrying a staff. And she plants it on the ground in front of her.
You shall not pass.
And you guys are too far away to hear whatever exchange goes on between the goblins and this figure. But 2 of the goblins sort of run forward carrying a box.
Is it the box?
We haven't seen the
We don't
box.
know.
You guys haven't seen the box.
I did give you guys a description of the box, though.
But
Ice
we're
doesn't
still
fit the
quite
description.
distance.
I know.
So-
It's real close if it's not the box. It's
Probably the box.
probably the box. but you don't know that for sure.
I won't
And they
let you
set it
give
down
yourself
in front
away
of her. They set it down in front of her, and then the goblins sort of back away. She sort of looks it over, taps it with her staff, and it starts to hover up off the ground and levitate, and then moves behind her into the tower. Another box comes out of the door and passes it. This one looks more like a strong box,
Oh,
and
Ah.
goes to where the first box was sitting, lowers down. She taps it, the lid flies open, and even from where you are, you can see the gold and the gems and the shinies in the box. She taps it again, the lid closes, and then she turns and walks back into the tower.
Guys, the door is on the ground level.
yeah, but it's what, a
The-
quarter mile
I-
down to the bottom of
Yeah,
this
yeah,
thing?
about that.
And it's still surrounded by
And
all
it's
the
It's still
by
surrounded.
mountains.
Crowd surfing.
I could do this.
No.
Alma.
Do you not remember where when I left, I said,
Oh, yeah.
not do anything?
Oh, yeah.
That's not the problem. The problem is even if we get down there, what do we say?
We open the door, steal the box, and leave.
Not
No.
surrounded by that many things, we're not. We are not getting out of there alive if we go down there.
Right.
Just don't be seen.
It's
You can do
surrounded
that.
by
Right.
thousands-
I can do that, but she can't do that.
I understand that like you can be invisible and sneaky and all of that stuff. I can be sneaky too. If you shoulder check that many baddies,
Who's gonna shoulder check
you
someone?
have to get there.
It'll be fine.
No.
No.
This is fine.
At this point, the female figure has re-entered the tower. The door closes, and there is that stone
At least now we know what
grating
that
on
sound is.
that stone on stone grating sound again, and the tower starts to rise up out of the ground, back up to its full
At least
height.
we know for certain where the box is.
And we
So
know
that's
the
good.
mechanics of how the tower works.
No, we don't. It goes up
Okay.
and down.
That's-
we don't know anything.
It's not a tower, it's just a big elevator.
We know how they do the in and out of the door thing. So we have more information than we started with. And no, Alma.
Fine.
And if I have to stay up all night to keep you from doing something that is going to end your life, I will do it.
I'm gonna have to get a shock collar for you.
Every time you think about doing something reckless, it just electrocutes you.
Fine. I won't go, and I can't get in now anyway.
Yeah. Good. This is a good thing.
I'm gonna just mimic your face.
There is more stone on stone grating, and at the edges of the goblin army, figures made out of rock start popping up around the army,
Oh, are they about to?
and then they draw out stone swords.
Yep.
And start wailing into the goblins.
Oh!
The tower rises up out of the ground, off the ground,
There's a
turns
penis
on,
joke in there somewhere.
turns on its side, and shoots away from the valley.
What are those called?
Meanwhile, the stone golems are just going to town on the
What do you mean,
goblins.
No. In D&D.
Oh.
Now it's leaving the valley. Like,
Well, it's leaving the spot where it is.
oh, okay. It's leaving this valley, not the valley.
Yeah.
Well,
She's not flying off into space.
No, she's not flying off into space.
I suppose we can wait here and see what happens. Now, because
Aren't you glad you didn't go down?
I mean,
I'm glad you saw this.
I left you with Hector to send us a message if need be.
Enjoy the show.
I feel like we're probably going back to town now.
well, not
Um,
necessarily. I mean, we could
we
always
can-
loot the bodies.
It's a strong box of money.
is a large box of money that we could use to help fuel something.
Oh, yes.
Wait until the
I mean,
Just wait
we
till
should at least
everything stops moving and
Helen-
get the money.
go get the box of money.
Okay, so
That's
you
actually
guys,
not a bad plan.
No.
Yeah, no.
you guys know magic-y stuff better than I do.
No
the
is a
difference between
strong word.
knowing is a strong word. Having it is a different word.
Can you guys think of anything that she would be able to use to like track any of the stuff in the box if we took it? Would it even necessarily be? Is it real? Is that
I can't tell from up here.
Oh,
okay? I guess let's
I only know the limitations of myself.
we'll wait a few minutes to let those things do what they're doing.
I think that's gonna take more than a few minutes.
Okay, so we'll wait a bit.
Oh, we should at least watch the
And-
show.
Once
This
they're
is
done,
pretty gruesome.
we can. Yeah, it's really. Oh! That was a head that's just gone.
So
All
so
the
it
way
is
flat.
it
I was
is
like a watermelon, man.
it is at least a couple of hours. It is a
I mean, we have nothing to do.
bloodbath.
It's entertainment.
There are some straggler hobgoblins and goblins and the like that managed to get away, but the vast
For the most
majority,
part, we won't have to worry about goblins.
Do
the
any of
vast
them-
majority of this army is decimated.
Do any of them come? So any of the stragglers come anywhere close to
No.
us?
Okay.
We did kind of purposely put ourselves so that we wouldn't have
That's
that
fine.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they don't get anywhere near you guys. They do sort of disappear off into the hills, and the last you see of them, they're hightailing it. They're dropping armor and weapons behind them, and just trying to
I
lighten
saw
the
that
load.
face.
Just trying to lighten the
Brayden's eyes
load.
just turned into money signs.
I have plans, and funding is one of them.
And as the last of the live goblins disappears, the stone golems sort of pause. They don't give the appearance of looking around, but I mean, they don't physically move, but you get the sense that they're sort of scanning for any life signs around. And when there are none, there's a bright blue pop, and they all collapse into piles of rubble on the floor of the valley.
You can start that fire now. Stay warm.
It's okay. We have a hike ahead of us.
We gotta hike ahead of this.
Make a perception check real quick.
When Killian gets back, I'm telling him that I did this.
I mean, I kind of feel like we don't necessarily need. for him to
18 for me
wait
and
to go
14
back
for Ingrid.
at this point.
The chest is still there.
No, I'm telling him that I killed all the goblins.
I'm fine with that.
Just so you guys know.
No, fair. You can have all the credit.
But I don't care.
True. Shall we go look around?
Loot the bodies.
Loot the bodies, as it were.
God.
Yep.
I mean, it might
He's
give
not
us something to
that
do.
big.
Box.
A big
but,
box.
Knocking down the door.
We will find safe passage down to the valley.
Okay, easy enough to do. Takes you guys about half an hour or so to get down there.
Oh, we're getting.
It's gonna be fun to die
Like
though.
a red slushy everywhere.
Yeah, it's just it's bad.
Oh, and it's frozen though, so at least it's not all
It's
over. our
probably not
hands.
frozen yet.
I don't
Yeah, it's
know.
not frozen yet. It's
It's cold enough the
starting.
whole river
It's
froze.
starting to get there,
Yeah, but
but
there's
it's
a lot of blood.
There's a lot of blood, and it was still pretty
Like
warm.
thousands of goblins are dead here. Okay.
You're starting to
one
see
problem solved.
crows and stuff fly in. They're starting to land and pick at eyes
Do we want
Lips.
to?
and lips
Oh,
and
yeah.
all the soft flesh.
Do we want to send a message back, or should we wait?
Oh no, definitely send a message, but
Yeah.
I think we should still meet here
well, yes,
because
yes.
then we need to figure out where to find.
Well, I think
a flying
I think
tower.
from here we have to go and make sure that the entrance that we know where is safe because we happen to have some of my kin there.
True.
So
But now, which direction did it go?
It went off to the west.
oh, so not towards where
Nope.
our
And
entrance
besides,
was.
the door was like maybe like half a day's travel from where the tower was, if that.
It's over rough terrain, probably more like a day.
Right. But I mean, she's in a flying tower, so
Right.
I assume.
Like 10 minutes tops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay.
Wish I had a flying tower.
What is the speed of a flying tower?
What?
African-
Laden or unladen?
African or European?
You know, Nate, we could get it. We could get one.
We good?
Yeah, we'll just take that one.
All right.
Yeah,
So
we'll-
so you guys are
We'll
there.
Begin.
Yes.
We'll look at the chest first.
All right. Yeah, it looks like a strong box.
Is it real?
Yes,
That
it
a
is real.
Good question.
Wow.
It's got a lock. It's got a lock on it.
Oh.
Well, let's just take it with us.
Yeah, we take it with us. Well, I mean, yeah, we'll be dragging because there's two of us with negative strengths, and
Wait, how much?
11.
Oh, so you're not negative.
Yeah.
I am.
Wow, I am the strongest person here. We should be ashamed.
I got a negative 2 as well.
We are not strong
We
people.
are not
The only
strong.
strong person I know is Adrian. Well, we know what happened with Adrian.
Thanks for
Mizuki, what's your
thanks for
Like
digging at
5
that
plus
sword,
5.
my
Oh,
friend.
never mind.
What's
Okay.
yours?
Like
Plus
12.
Wow, we all suck.
This is not a strong party.
I'm not bad.
Your skills lie elsewhere.
Yeah, I'm not
Okay,
not
so,
the strongest
yeah,
person
on the
in
way
the world,
in.
but she's pretty stout.
This is mostly like
I was
goblin
wondering if it was you
fare,
or
right?
me.
Shh. What was that?
This is mostly like goblin fare, right? We're not seeing.
Yeah.
So
Any half plate?
Oh gosh. On any of like the hobgoblins or anything amongst the
make
smarter end, is there anything worth keeping as we move?
I mean, there are a few with those guys. There are a few like scimitars that look like they're in fairly well condition, but there's nothing special. And quite honestly, you've seen both Killian and Mizuki create better.
Yeah, not looking for weapons, more like trinkets or.
I mean, there are any number of trinkets. I mean, almost all of them have some kind of like teeth or claws or paws or
Is there,
ears or
small
something like
bits
that
of,
on
metal
necklaces.
around? Not necessarily like full armor and that kind of stuff, but is there like metal stuff that we could?
Oh
give
yeah,
to
yeah.
Mizuki
There's all kinds of scrap metal around.
I mean, we do. We're not carrying a bunch of metal around. There's
Well, I guess
no
if
way.
I guess if the two forgers want to
How
come down
many-
here later and
how many
start.
coins
Oh yeah,
are
once
there?
Killian has his bag thing.
I
How
mean,
many coins are there?
in the chest, I have no idea. We'll count that back at camp.
As a matter of fact, guys, I'm wondering if maybe we shouldn't go ahead and pop this thing open to see what's actually
Nope. We're totally carrying this first.
Okay.
Because we're out in the open.
hmm
Okay, fair.
And we can start a
I
fire.
want Killian
Let's
to
hurry.
figure out if there's any
I-
problems with
as-
it before we open.
As a
Okay.
side note, I'm just gonna grab like broken spears and wood for a
I mean,
fire.
Okay.
If it's valuable enough, it doesn't really matter how much metal it is. It's really the value of
The issue
metal.
isn't that they don't want the scrap; it's that they don't want to carry it.
Yeah, I
we
know.
can't
I know.
carry it.
So we're just gonna send you back.
And I'm just grabbing like
That's
pieces
fair.
of like broken spearheads or whatever wood I can find, so
That's
we can
fair.
use it for firewood
We'll do that
when we
Okay.
get back to camp. So,
All right. Yep.
and then the three of us collectively will
That'll be my new.
mush this chest back to camp.
It takes a lot longer to get back to your campsite
Of course it
because
does.
laden and uphill,
Mhm.
but you do eventually manage to make it back to the campsite.
I'm doing the gold next.
You just left this big long trough in the snow where you're dragging the strong box.
Material
So,
possessions are stupid.
I'm doing one. and
Yes,
the
but
gold
it can
next.
buy you things.
so should we go cover tracks now?
Yeah.
Did somebody send the message, or did we just talk about sending?
We
the
talked
message?
about it.
Let's send the message.
Hector is,
So
is
where
just
are
sitting
we,
at the campsite looking at you.
are we having them meet us over at the opening of the thing? Are we having the
How about we just send a
going
message
back to
saying,
town?
"Hey,
Let's just bring them back here.
Shit.
yeah, we'll just say something has happened. Hard to explain within the terms of agreements of whatever this letter is. Please hurry back."
Words cannot describe what has happened.
Words cannot describe what has happened.
Here's a paper. Here's a pen.
Well, I have a scholar's pack, so
Response.
Then,
Ditto.
by all means, send the message.
I will send a message saying, "Hey,
Weird stuff happens.
weird stuff
Stop.
has happened. Stop.
Shit's nasty.
cannot describe in such a small message. please hurry and return. Signed the.
I'm going to add, we're okay.
Good call.
I will roll that up, give it to Hector, and
So I like to imagine it doesn't like because it's not an actual bird. It
It's
doesn't
like-
actually flap. It's like
Little fans,
Like,
sort of, yeah.
and now let's start the fire and make some food.
All right.
I'll go and recover tracks. while
Okay.
I'm doing that.
Make me a survival check.
Well, you're probably the best one to
Oh,
do
You should
this.
you should
No.
cover them from the other end so you can follow
I'm
the track back up.
Yeah.
I'm proficient in
Oh, that's
Oh,
not
there
terrible.
you go.
So that's a 19.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you do think about it and realize you need to start at the other end and work your way back, and you actually managed to do a pretty good job of covering everything
We'll
up.
loot and pick later.
So to start a fire, you realize you just can't put like all the wood. You can't
No, I understand. I just don't have anything to start the fire with.
just putting the wood on doesn't you like you. You can't just like stack the wood on top of each other and then pretend it's gonna light. Let's make a teepee.
Okay.
I mean, to be clear, Milo can't do that.
All right, and I'll show him how to use a tinderbox.
All right. So by the time Simi gets back, there is a small fire going. It's nothing big, but it is actually going.
Not bad.
Anything
Milo
you
made
guys
a
want
fire.
specifically?
Good
I have
job,
like
Milo.
thank you. I have a bunch of stuff. What do we want for food wise?
Oh.
Oh,
Goblin.
I don't care.
Okay.
I'm
Um,
easy.
Do you guys like?
Hesitant to say surprise me, but surprise me?
Why would you say it if you were hesitant? That feels foolish.
So,
I don't know what else to say. Because I don't know what he has. Something good.
Okay.
Not
I'm
something
just
bad.
gonna show you this.
Not goblin.
Okay, give me a second. I'm basing off that.
Which one?
The one my fingers above the meals. So I have 22 gold, so I will be.
Are you just dumping gold into the pot?
We call this gold soup in the capital.
So I'm making a comfortable thing. So I'm using 1.5 gold
Okay.
to make a comfortable meal for the three of us.
All right. Go ahead and what have I had you roll before for cooking?
Performance, I think.
Performance.
Performance.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, because you're proficient with the chef's
I
tools,
am,
right?
yes.
So the chef's tools, wisdom,
Yeah. Wisdom?
So wisdom plus proficiency.
wisdom, yeah.
Oh, come on. Ooh. That's a 6 plus 10.
Could be worse.
Could be worse.
Yeah.
Could be better.
Worse. Could be better. Could be a lot better.
Is it,
I mean-
is it good given that he's cooking it over a campfire?
Yeah. I mean,
Nah,
he's
nah.
done better over a campfire.
Mm. So I've just gotten like an entire bird, just turning. No seasoning.
You're supposed
Nothing
to.
like that.
Did you
That's
pluck
fine.
it?
I was
You're
about
supposed
to
Yes,
say-
I did pluck it.
Okay.
I did pluck it. It's going to be very dry and with no seasoning.
That's fine.
I feel like your game's a little lower than it was before, but that's okay. I mean, it's still. I've definitely had worse.
Well,
Thank you for making us dinner.
Thank you. It's so cold. It's still a little cold on the backside, but it's getting warmer. I wonder how they're doing.
So a couple hours past noon, Hector
That guy.
Hector shows up.
Where are we when he shows up?
Where were you going to be?
Well, the next place we were going to go was to
Yeah.
the tailors.
Tail.
Okay.
Oh, and we're gonna start counting the whatever's in
Whatever's in the what?
the box.
We haven't opened it.
Oh.
Yeah, you haven't opened it. All right.
Okay.
And so what are you doing at Kel's?
So, well, we're gonna like to kill, and we would like to examine the guards' uniforms.
Okay, let's make this real easy. Do you still have them?
Yeah.
Some the ones that Alma doesn't have.
If we take 2 of them, can you make replacements without them realizing it?
Yeah, I probably could.
Okay, we're just gonna do that if that works.
2.
Sure.
2. 1 for me and 1 for you.
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't need one.
You know what? It's better if I don't ask. Go ahead.
Well, okay. Let me explain it this way. So
Yeah,
you may have noticed, maybe not, but there's checkpoints, and they're not letting anyone out of town.
That's why it's better if I don't ask.
Yeah.
It's more of a just in case thing.
We're gonna be taking an extended vacation
Okay.
for a while.
Son will be with
Alma's
us.
gonna be with us.
Okay.
If anyone asks, we are off doing some contract work for the Ito family business. You can talk to Mizuki about it if you have to get details.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Do you know where Olmo is?
Not at the moment, no.
Do you have a way to find him?
Quickly.
And
Not
quietly?
not quickly, and right now I don't know that I want to bring him into town.
Just write him a letter.
Do
Yeah,
you
no.
know if he was out of town when this happened?
Yes.
Okay.
Send Hector.
If he comes back,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully you'll be able to make contact with him. Mizuki will have a map of where we're going to be, so send him her way so he can come contact us.
Okay.
Plans are probably gonna change because
They always do.
they're not letting people leave town and they're asking everyone about them.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, fair warning, they're gonna come ask you about it, and I don't know if they know who's involved and who's not.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't know if they haven't arrested anyone because they're waiting to flush them all out, or if they don't know who all is involved. Fair warning.
Word to the wise is sufficient. Yes. I'll
It's the dumb ones that need the word.
will yes. I'll
I would have an exit strategy ready just in case.
yeah, that sounds smart. Thank you.
Yep, no problem. Again, if you have to get into contact with Alma
Mm-hmm.
while we're on our vacation, find a time to talk to Mizuki on the sly. She has a way of getting in contact with us if need be. She'll be sort of our contact in town while the rest of us hide.
All right. That sounds like a fair enough plan.
Good.
2 uniforms in the bag.
All right. And then from there,
We can either go to your place or we can go talk to the teacher again. I imagine we go to your place first.
Actually, the first place we should probably go is we should see if they found Alma's little hideaway.
Well, before you do that, you said you were going to look for stuff in Alma's house because his room has your.
Oh yeah. We're anything of value that we think Alma might need for an extended stay elsewhere that's in at his place. We're going to take.
That's it.
and then
Fox.
that's a given.
Yep. So we should probably go see if they found Alma's little hideaway.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I know where it is.
we probably yeah.
Okay.
I think most of us know where it is.
Everybody
at this point.
actually knows where it is.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, yeah, we
special.
no
You
no.
are special.
I don't think we should pull anything out of it yet. We should probably wait till dark to do that.
Oh, absolutely.
But let's
we
see
can
if they found
go
it.
see it.
Yep. So we'll swing by there and see if it's safe or.
Seems untouched. Seems
I'm
like
gonna
it's
I'm gonna
safe.
look for any sign of like that they have people watching it, Sarah, like on the hiding somewhere
yeah,
watching
we're
it
gonna
to
like
see.
go all the way out. to
So
make sure
make me an investigation check. Thank you, poser.
Thanks, brother.
I got a +2. You can get a advantage.
17.
17.
I gave
He
it.
gave
Oh,
me advantage.
okay. Doesn't appear as though it's being watched. Doesn't appear as though they've been out this direction or even.
Good.
I mean, it looks. You're not even sure that they know to come this direction at this point.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So now, other places we need to stop. We need to stop by the winery.
Mm-hmm.
We need to stop by my grandfather's house, but we are going to want to do that at night.
Mm-hmm.
And then we need to go to my shop. And then we may need to pilfer some supplies from various places around town on our way out.
Fair point.
Because I don't want it to be obvious we're leaving.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So I think next we go collect our eavesdropper, take him to my place, and find out what he knows and figure out what we're going to do with him. Because I'm pretty sure he knows too much to just let him go at this point.
So while you are at Alma's hideout, that's when Hector shows up.
Crap.
At least nobody's around.
Take the note off.
What's that look?
So, they said that stuff has happened and it's too much to explain in this letter, but they're okay.
Huh.
Yeah.
Stuff has happened. Very
Same.
Yeah,
This will be him
Same.
killing the part everyone else who has not seen what is going on.
I guess we'll find out when we get there.
I'm
Yep.
excited to see how this goes.
This is
Okay.
Ingrid's
Okay.
interpretation.
So let's
Oh,
grab
okay.
Alma's
Yeah,
stuff.
let's... Wait, what?
Make sure, we got everything we need for Alma in his hideout.
Oh, no, we're not getting anything out of that yet. We need to wait till it's dark. Just in case anybody comes by and sees us. I don't want people to see us digging into the ground, pulling out stuff out of a hole in the ground, like...
Why does he gotta make things so difficult? Okay.
So let's go talk to
Yeah,
our new
my
friend.
Yeah.
While
Okay.
they were gone,
Okay.
I'm sure I had a long conversation
Over tea.
with
So Silas is just sitting there.
I will
He
remind
is
you,
not
but the last thing I
saying
said to him was if he
anything.
says anything, I will kill him.
you can talk. It's okay. I won't let
Are-
Killian
are you
kill
sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Okay.
Killian
good.
tends to overreact a little sometimes. It's
I've noticed that.
yeah, so have I. Yeah, it's a thing.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I upset him. It was not my
Well,
intention, certainly.
I mean,
You
was
were
it
hiding
your
in my room
intention?
invisibly.
It wasn't my intention to upset him. No.
Then perhaps you shouldn't have been sneaking around.
You know what? In
I-
in hindsight, yeah, I'll go with that. That's
Good. Good. I'm
that's
glad we agree on this point.
that's right. I'm not used to this sort of folderol.
Oh, great! He's a cutout. He's not even an actually good at this sort of thing.
He sucks at
All
deception.
right. So first,
Yes.
do you explain where you got, I guess, whatever lets you be invisible?
Nothing lets me be invisible. I can just turn myself invisible. I can do a lot of things.
Ah,
Oh.
Everybody
okay.
in freaking
I
town.
see. I see.
Magic school bus. Sorry.
That's.
I will remind you, he is not originally from here.
Yeah, he is not. Yeah.
None of us are originally from here,
Why don't you
Keen.
just turn invisible and leave?
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I understand.
Dogs.
Let's just keep that.
Yeah. Mhm.
I
I would
mean-
prefer not to let that
I'm
get
not.
around, obviously.
Just, I mean, I'm not going to let anyone know. I have my own secrets.
Oh, interesting. We'll
Not
have to
that I'm going to tell you them right now.
Oh. Well, I was going to say we'll have to compare notes later, but
We
apparently
can
not.
compare notes later,
Much
but
later.
I don't give up just anything,
I thought
not
the book was
without a price.
he kind of
And
blushed.
you're not in much
He does
of a-
kind of blush a little bit.
You're not in much of a bargaining position right now. So we will get there.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Well then. That was all right.
That was something.
Did not expect that from Mizuki, but all right.
I mean, she is a businesswoman.
Yes. Yes. Always business.
Strip.
But
Jeez, that got dark.
so you just came here to hide, nothing else, right?
Yes.
Okay. Could I do insight?
Sure.
Yes, I followed two strange men and a woman into her room to hide. Yes,
Hide and watch.
Where?
right.
He likes the whole voyeurism thing.
11?
Yep.
11.
Yeah. 11.
Seems to be on the level, but it's kind of hard to tell.
Okay.
You haven't known him long enough to really get a
Yeah.
good beat on him.
Alright. So, what was your
Span.
plan once, I guess... What exactly was your plan?
Well, again, it looked like the three of you were trying to be very inconspicuous and avoid the Imperial patrols, and
How long were you following us?
just since the three of you met up in the town center out there.
You realize...
I was only following. I wasn't eavesdropping. I wasn't close enough to hear what you were saying. It's just
But you heard what we said here.
yes.
You must
The likelihood of him getting killed is.
Guards!
You realize that...
Call the guards on him. That's a great idea.
Yeah, okay.
We'll turn them.
It'll take
What kind of
You
suspicion off
realize
us.
that
It'll take suspicion off
that
us.
puts me and my friends in a difficult position.
Yeah. Yes, and I do apologize for that. And if there had been any way around it, I would. If I had been able to see any way around it, let me say, I would have taken it.
Sexual
Okay,
desires.
I understand that...
I'm not. I mean, I'm not. I'm not a native of this town. Clearly, I
Yes.
don't know all of the roads, the paths, the ways in and out of town, and you know, I was just here on a research mission, and they got
Research for what, exactly? What? Why?
Every time.
Every time.
I just, my screen turned and all of a sudden there was sound.
Research for what?
Oh, well,
Go on.
I'm a bit of a
Stop.
lore buff,
Okay.
and I like researching history. And in some of my research, I came across a story about
Augurs fall.
about a very powerful artifact that was lost with the old dwarven capital, and it was unclear where the capital was, but all of the accounts pointed to this valley. So I figured I would come and see if I could do some digging around, and wound up getting saddled with the job teaching at the school, and
Unfortunate.
yeah, and
Good
I
time.
haven't really had a lot of time to do a lot of, field work around town. So, yeah.
Okay.
Is he a teacher or headmaster?
In this town, that's both. He's both.
There's only one
There's only
classroom in this
one.
town.
No, I just want to make sure because
Is the
Yeah.
classroom
one I was supposed to
even-
find and talk about. But...
Is the classroom even did it get destroyed with the earthquake?
Not destroyed, but it's definitely a little. It's got a little lean to it. Let's say.
How long has he been the schoolmaster? Like, would he have been Killian and I's
He
teacher?
He
came in
came
with-
when
with-
Mizuki
He
came.
was
Yeah.
we were in the
Right, okay.
same cohort. yeah.
Yes.
We were in the same coach.
So he was
yes.
not our school teacher.
Yes.
No.
We were in the same coach. Yes, so
He makes noise.
we might be able to talk about the Dwarven City thing.
Really?
Problem is, we don't have the key.
You
Not anymore.
you know something?
Jeez.
You know
I
something?
might.
What? I've only been here just a little over a year, and I haven't been able to find anything. What do you know?
Don't do
I'll
it,
tell you.
Mizu.
We'll discuss that later.
That's fair. That's fair. You don't know that you can trust me yet. That's fair.
We don't know that you're gonna live that long.
So
But before you die, your answers will be given to you, Mr. Bond.
So before, you just want to hide from the Imperials?
Yes, if there's some way that I can get out of town, obviously that would be ideal. People like me are not held in very high regard with the Empire. Obviously.
Yes.
And by people like me, I mean researchers.
So we now know that anyone who introduces himself as a researcher.
Sketchy. Okay. I mean, I suppose I understand. But, I feel like there could have been a better way you went about this. But
You're
that's-
probably right.
I
I'm
suppose
terrible.
that's in the past.
I'm
so.
terrible with people. I'm better with books.
Okay. Alright. But you weren't willing to just do the interview?
No. I'm terrible with people. I can't lie
What
worth
do you
a
know? What do you know?
You can't lie worth a what do you know?
You know what? I think I'm going to wait until your friends get back now.
Oh yeah, because it's gonna go so much better for you with us.
He knows things, kill him!
I mean, my friends aren't very patient.
Understatement of the year.
I'm making improvement.
Nice.
There's only like 10,000 goblins. It's fine. I can do it. I'm bored.
But totally up to you.
About this time, you guys wind up getting back.
So before we go in, I'm gonna say, we're taking him across the street. We're going into the basement.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pretend to inject him with poison. Hopefully that'll motivate him to answer all of our questions. Then we'll decide if he gets to live or not.
Oh, that is just
You're not
devious.
there. You're not
Oh,
there.
You
rehearsing
gain
the
10
worst
conflict.
for the
I
guy.
know, right?
This is really,
Going
really
in.
gonna have some issues with this.
You don't know what he
Yeah,
did
as
in his
bad as the
past.
guards.
All right, so the door, you open the door, and he's still sitting there.
How's our friend Ben?
Talkative.
Did he move?
Just fine.
Is he moved at all?
Does he move?
You don't know.
No, I'm.
Is he where? Is he where when we? Is he in the
Yes,
same
He's
space
still
when we
he's
left?
still in the same
place.
space.
Okay. I just kind of give a general like.
Not like to the
You think he moved?
millimeter, but
So we're gonna take our friend and have a conversation with him.
Just a
at
friendly
my
chat.
place.
Yeah.
Would you like to come?
Yes, I would like to come.
Great. You're going to walk with us. If you try to run, if you try to signal anyone else, in fact, if you do anything that I don't really like, I'm going to kill you. Is that
Okay.
clear?
Yes.
Okay, you're going to
Yeah.
come with us. You're not going to talk to anyone. You're going to behave. Good. Let's go.
Jeez.
Okay.
Jeez.
I'm gonna walk behind, so.
Okay. But he's going with.
Yes.
To my basement.
Alright.
What the fun
To the
is.
sex dungeon.
All right. So as you get to your
That I lived in for like
as you get to your shop, it's like,
Right.
oh, okay, this isn't so. This is fine.
I didn't say you could talk.
No, he's not actually saying that. It's
sorry,
just like
sorry.
he-
I,
he's
thought,
just-
I thought he was actually commenting.
no, he's just looking around. It's like, oh, nice shop.
Walking over, opening a secret door.
His eyes go a little bit big,
Go on.
Don't scream.
and he goes down the steps.
And the badger attacks
And-
you.
Everyone's prepared if I need it.
Oh, stop it.
Is it active?
The badger attacks him and does 2 points of piercing damage.
Before the badger gets him, I'll grab it and wrestle it away and turn it off.
What was that?
No. We're not here to answer your questions.
Killian.
You're here to answer our questions. Yes.
You should.
It's been a day, okay? It's a work in progress.
I know. But
I'm gonna go back up top and keep an eye out.
Yeah,
just to make
yeah,
sure.
of course,
I'll close the door and
No problem.
That's
You just
the-
let me know if you need anything.
so I'll take my cane and tap twice if there's something.
Have a seat, my friend. And I'm gonna move a stool out into the middle of the room.
I will remind you, there is one stool
Yep.
in your basement.
Yep.
Okay? He sits down on it.
Great. I'm going to pull out a syringe. I don't actually have anything I'm going to inject him, but I'm going to pull it out and... I've just injected you with a deadly poison. You will be dead in 24 hours unless
No,
I
you
give
didn't.
you the... How do you know? Alright, fair enough. Okay.
Oh, he called you out.
That, usually that works. Alright, new plan. If I don't like what you have to say, I'm turning the badger back
he's a
on.
researcher.
How do you know what it is?
Okay, that's getting
How do
quoted.
you think?
Of course. Alright, tell me what he told you.
Blah.
I mean, not much, but I believe he has some information that he would like to give us. At this point,
Do I?
I believe you do.
Okay.
Tell me what you know.
How long have you got?
So, why were you hiding in Mizuki's room?
He was trying to invite the guards, the Imperials.
So let me get this straight. You thought to yourself, wow, I'd like to not have to talk to the Imperial Guards. So the best thing I can do is follow a woman up to her room and hide in the corner invisibly while she has a conversation with her friends. That was your thought
I
process.
told him it was a bad idea.
That was, and I'm supposed to believe that was a good idea. You thought that would work out well for you. You want to try again?
I mean, clearly the three of you didn't want to have any Imperial entanglements either.
Right,
I
so-
figured if I followed along with you guys, I might find out how you were leaving town.
So you saw three people and thought, man, they look like people who have a plan to avoid talking to the Imperials.
Actually, yes.
I should hide in their room and find out what their plan is without telling them, because then they'll help me, not kill me. That was your thought
No,
process.
the plan was I hide in the room, you never know I was there, and I just follow you out of town.
And
Well,
you thought
and we
you
see how that
thought we weren't
worked
going to
out.
notice you the whole time.
I was doing okay until I knocked the books over.
Fair point.
Fair point.
I would have liked to see how far you got when we actually got outside. Anyway,
Well, now we'll never
okay,
know.
so you want to avoid the Imperials and you don't have a good way of doing it yourself.
Yeah, that's about it.
Why is that?
Well, that
Aha.
group of people that came into town this afternoon,
Right.
Aha.
they have ways of tracking the kinds of things I do.
And what kind of things do you do?
Magic.
Exactly.
Magic.
Yeah, that's a very vague and unhelpful description of what you do.
Explain in further detail.
Wait,
And
they can track it. Let me just do it right
and
here.
his staff appears between his hands. The crystal on the end lights up and starts glowing.
I'm a wizard, Killian.
Uh, Be careful with what you do next.
So, they can track
Clearly,
your magic.
yes.
So you thought the best way of explaining how you use magic is to use the thing that they can track while you're in my basement.
Well, I mean, clearly you were looking for something.
Yes, I
and
wanted
just
you
saying-
to use your words, you simpleton. Now, get rid of that. Good God. What is...
He doesn't seem like he's the.
How old are you?
Uh-oh.
313.
Old enough to know better.
You are 313.
You managed.
To be fair, I've spent most of that in libraries doing research.
You.
Fair. No one
For
ever.
someone that old,
No one
you're
ever said
remarkably
that.
stupid.
No, I'm very, very book smart. I don't have much experience with the world.
You're just standing.
Okay.
I've never been out of a library, okay?
Wait
And-
until just.
Until coming here, yes.
And you came here because...
Chasing a story.
Let me guess. Let me guess. It's about a dwarven city
Yes.
with a powerful
Yes.
magical item in it that's hidden somewhere in this valley, and if only you can find it, you'll have access to riches and all sorts of other wonderful things. That about right?
Well, I don't care about the riches. I'm more interested in studying the artifact, but
Is every...
essentially, yes.
All right, and how much did you know about where it was?
Just that it's in
He
the
doesn't
valley.
know anything.
There is a remarkable amount of people who are smart enough to get themselves here, but utterly incompetent when they actually do. It's actually
It is.
kind of amazing, really.
It is.
It is a
It really
statistical
is.
improbability. Good God. All right. So, obviously, you don't want to talk to the Imperials because you're afraid they'll realize that you're 300-something years old and use magic.
Yeah.
Yes.
And obviously, you're terrified of them because the magic hunters have showed up in town.
He's
Yeah.
also terrible at lying.
I mean, yeah, he just straight up
Yes.
told us he was 300 years old instead of lying, so I'll believe that. So, we have an unfortunate situation. You heard us talking about our plans. Very sensitive things that we've worked very hard to make sure lots of people don't know about.
Yes.
How do you propose we fix that problem?
I'm not sure I see it as a problem.
You don't see how maybe we're concerned that you know secrets we'd rather you not, and that you could go tell anyone you want about them?
Who am I going to tell?
Literally anyone.
First of all, the only people I know in town are the kids. I'm not going to talk to them. And I'm sure as hell not going to talk to the Imperials.
So one night you get kind of drunk.
I don't drink.
Really?
I believe that.
somehow.
Point in your favor,
I
sir.
believe that.
All right, Mizuki.
Yes.
Do you think that we can trust him enough to leave him here? Because it's going to be awfully hard to dump a body right now.
I mean, let's.
We're not there.
No, I'm so not okay with this.
I'm peeking out the window, by the way.
Is your table on right now?
No.
Okay.
Well, that's upsetting because then you would see the convergence of just like.
And my table's not down here.
Oh.
Because this is the lead-lined
Oh, right.
basement.
Right.
That's why I'm not actually worried he used magic in here, because
Oh,
I'm in my
yeah.
shielded basement
Right.
where I hide the magic
Right.
stuff. And I don't
You're
leave
not-
those on because they're not
You're
shielded.
not worried about magic, but you're not really worried about cancer, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't know about cancer yet.
Besides, I got magic.
Yeah.
Fix that.
The secret contagion.
So what do you think? Can we leave him? Can we
I mean,
release
I'll
him
be
into the
here.
wild?
she will be here to murder them later if anybody misbehaves.
Can we trust you?
Well, it's interesting. Interesting you should ask that because there's really no way for you to get an answer accurately by asking the question. Because, of course, I'm going to say, yes, you can trust me. But even if I was untrustworthy, I would say that. So you can't really tell what my answer
Zone of truth.
is.
Thank you,
By-
Missy.
Uh-huh.
Zone of truth.
Oh, zone of truth.
Okay?
All right. I have a few questions.
That's a wisdom save.
Yeah.
Actually,
He's
it's a,
gonna
actually,
fail.
it's a charisma save.
Is it charisma?
It's charisma.
Yeah.
He knows what's happening and he's going to choose to fail.
Okay.
I will also choose to fail. I'm not worried about it.
Fair. Sorry. My last word is theirs. All right. Okay.
Where is your table?
Attic.
Okay.
Behind the attic, secret room
Did you
up in the attic.
you
But
moved it from the basement?
yeah, because
Oh.
Keith and I were discussing if I shielded my basement so that
Oh,
you couldn't,
then it
then
wouldn't-
it couldn't
yeah.
detect anything, which
That
is
makes
also
sense.
why I don't leave it on anymore. Because unless I'm actively using it, I don't want people to be able to detect it because I
Yeah.
know it's unshielded.
Okay. All right. So there will be no deception here. I would like some promises, or at least some reassurances that, I mean, unless you would rather just either,
Perish.
or we could cut out your tongue.
Or we could cut out his tongue. Actually, that you are correct.
Don't forget the fingers, so you can't do.
Would prefer to.
Yes,
to-
I,
What sort of assurances are you looking for?
well,
Assurances
One.
of silence.
that nothing you heard will ever be spoken of to anyone.
Nothing I heard will be spoken of to anyone.
Okay.
And even if the Imperials figure out what
And-
you are and decide to grab you and torture you, how confident you are you're going to keep your mouth shut.
Let's just avoid that.
Let's just say I would rather they not come after me because that will reveal a lot of things.
I fully
and-
agree, but
Yes.
unfortunately, past experience has shown us we sometimes don't always get what we want.
If they come after me, they will have bigger issues than what I know.
Okay, I like that answer.
Okay.
That's a good
That
answer.
is a satisfactory answer.
That's actually
Alright.
good indeed.
Also, I would, if needed, if we require any assistance, you would be willing, more than willing, to offer your help.
If it is within my power, you have such.
Right.
So, hypothetically, if there was a really, really tall, white, magic-y tower with an opening only at the top, how would you, with your vast amounts of knowledge, assume the best way for someone to get into that is?
You did not find her tower.
Oh, great. You know
Oh.
about that tower. Wonderful. Fantastic. Care to explain?
This is the tower.
Care to explain? I have an army of goblins with a box I would very much like to get back surrounding a giant wizard's tower. I'm gonna need an explanation out of you.
I wish I had an explanation, but she has never worked with goblins before. She doesn't like to work with anyone. In fact, she's quite a
I
loner.
just love everything about this. So much.
And
wait till they
she. So you're familiar with owner of said magic tower?
Yeah, you could say that.
Great.
Go on.
What's her name? What do you know about her?
You ready to write this?
What?
Well, what I know would turn your hair gray and then make it fall out.
Great. I wanted to be bald anyway. Start talking.
Her name is Nora.
Okay.
Nora Hanan, and she is one of the vilest dark wizards I know.
And how many dark wizards do you know?
Actually, a surprisingly large number now I think about it.
Of course.
But she is by far the worst. And she and I are on the trail of the same artifact.
Your rivals?
Yes. Yes, we are definitely
Grab
rivals
him.
now.
Bring him with you.
She is. We are definitely rivals now. Was not always the case. Back before she went dark and needy.
Lovers to enemies?
And yeah. And if you've found her tower, you better hope it's there when you get back to it.
Why is that?
Because it moves.
Of course it moves. Oh, that's probably what said.
How are we? How are we ever going to the tower move?
It's like for
The
that.
light bulb came on.
All right. What's your name? What's your real name?
Sionis.
Okay, Sionis.
It's really close to honest.
You want this magic artifact that's hiding in the secret dwarf city.
I want to be able to study it.
And what would you do with the opportunity to study it?
Well, I would study it.
Right.
Obviously.
What are you hoping to learn? What do you know about it?
Study. Jeez.
What I mean, whatever there is to learn. There's history. There's the understanding, better understanding of magic. The things we could do if
He
magic were
mentioned he
not
likes
outlawed,
history.
and we were able to study it in ways that could improve all of. I'm losing
With
it.
you, I like
I'm
more.
sorry.
No. Nope. I completely understand. Okay, so yes, we found her tower.
We found a magical tutor.
Yes, we know where this. Well, we think we know where the dwarf city is. She now has a box that has the keys to accessing where the tomb of the dwarf prince who has the hammer thing with him. Anyway,
The box?
Yes.
How did she get the box?
oh right, you weren't there. So you may have noticed that the blacksmith across the street is now a smoldering pile of ash. That's
Yes.
because a goblin or something else burned it to the ground, took the box, and ran away, which is why everyone else is not here. They are watching the goblin that took said box.
It appears I've been a bit distracted.
So,
I need more
so
inspiration.
clearly you know about this, Nora. How well would it go if you had to go toe-to-toe with her?
Oh, I haven't been in a wizard's duel in a very long time.
Well, you better start brushing up, because you're coming with me.
I mean, that's what I wanted in the
Soldiers
first place,
thrown all
so
over.
I
Yeah, well,
can't
you're
be
coming
upset
now.
by that.
Good lord.
Julia.
Yay.
Yes.
We gained a wizard.
In Elvish. Don't.
So, we can probably just speak in common. If he's been around for 300 years, I'm confident he speaks this language too.
Just don't. Just be patient. Remember, I don't think he means any harm to us.
No, he's coming with because apparently he knows more about the Magic Wizard's Tower that we're gonna have to find a way into to get the box back than I do.
Yeah,
So he's
okay.
coming with us because that's where we're going, so we can get and hopefully the tower will still be there. Oh my! Oh, this
Seems
just
weird.
keeps getting more and more complicated.
This is a bad day.
You know, a year ago I
Why
thought this was going to be
should I?
real easy. I was just going to find a magic dwarf city, we'd go explore it, la-di-da-di-da, it'd be nice and easy. But apparently no!
Why did you think that was going to be easy?
Because I was foolish and naive and had not experienced enough of this terrible, terrible world we live in. What do you need to go on a very extended vacation?
Well, I do have a handful of books I probably should pack up to take with me, and
But you got 5 minutes.
that's pretty much it.
Great.
I'll go with him.
Go get your stuff. Be back here at well, actually, don't be back here. You know where the vineyard is?
Yes.
Meet us by the entrance to the vineyard once the sun has gone down. We're going to leave town tonight. You're coming with us.
I hope
Okay.
you guys get back by
Sounds
the end
good.
of the session so we can explain.
Good Lord.
Wow.
Meanwhile, back on the
I feel
mountain.
like I
Not
just need
sending
to
your
sit
mom
down
again?
for a
I
long
mean,
while.
I could, but I mean, I would rather have them back here,
Meanwhile, back on the mountain.
chase and
Okay.
chase the tower.
That's still rather disconcerting.
It really is
True.
strange.
What
This
is
whole
in
thing
the what is in the
of
letter? Or
office
do
is
they
so
just
Same.
Same.
Huh.
So I guess we're staying here. It says same, so
Okay then.
that is happening.
Yeah, yeah. It is.
Well, should we make another trip down and grab more stuff since we're gonna be here a while?
Should we maybe check and see what of this stuff?
We can't open that box.
I mean,
Can we
could-
not?
I mean,
Well, it's locked, and without a way to check it for, like explosions that are gonna happen when we open it.
I mean, can we not just?
Make the lock.
Do you have a way to open locks that I'm unaware of?
Well, I mean, I can pick locks. That's not.
Not that right.
I did not know that about you.
go for it then.
They were in the
Why are you
handcuffs.
looking at me? What? Why are you looking at me like
Then-
that, Alma?
Just not a skill I knew you had. By all means. I'm going to stand over here.
Well, I mean, can you guys like check to make sure there's not some kind of magic awfulness waiting for me or something?
Ingir, perception check.
Okay, make a perception check.
It's a box with a lock on it.
With dirt in it.
Pretty.
It's a box with a lock on
It's
it.
a lot. Seems okay.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
And I'm gonna make an investigation for you.
You're moving like 50 feet away.
Yeah.
16
It's happened to be
investigations plus 2. That's an 18 investigation.
Let me know
It's
when
a
you
box
do
with a lock on
it.
it.
fine.
I just wanted to stand over
Sleight
here.
of hand
What?
is
No, it
plus the proficiency.
It's a
Do-
thieves' tool.
Proficiency.
it's a thieves' tools if you've got
Okay.
that
It's
proficiency
your proficiency plus your dex.
plus dex.
Okay.
As long as you're proficient
So-
in thieves' tools.
Oh.
Now add 8 to that.
that
11.
was a 3 roll, so
Oh.
Snap, and you break your
well,
lockpick.
okay, so pick stuff got real cold. I held up like half a pick. Gonna have to try that again later with something that's not this.
Make a perception check real quick.
Uh-oh.
The one thing you guys haven't really looked at.
Yep.
16?
The lock's not locked. I said there was a lock on it.
On it. It's not locked.
Alma just assumes people lock their
Alright.
stuff up.
Take the lock
So
off.
I just, when I realized this and act like I must have loosened it.
It's a simple lock.
Okay.
That's not how locks work.
Don't look at me in that tone of voice.
So how big is are we talking like steamer trunk?
Yeah, so yeah, it's a steamer trunk sized
Okay.
chest, and you lift the top, and there's a very nice pile of shiny rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not taking this anywhere else.
Oh.
Like of valued worth rocks?
No.
Or,
They are painted.
They're not even
They're
painted.
just shiny.
They're just shiny.
Scritch would have loved it.
Illusion magic.
Yeah.
You didn't think that wizard was really giving those goblins gold, did you?
I figured it was probably
Drag it all that way for
I'm not
nothing.
taking this anywhere else. And I'm a little embarrassed that we dragged it up the hill.
give us something to do.
I have a lot of other things I could do.
What can we do while we sit here and wait?
I could write, I could draw, I could drink, I could do all of these things.
At the same time.
I didn't drink because I'm
You probably should not be drinking while we're waiting.
Why?
Day
So-
drinking is frowned upon.
Magic wizard tower thing.
That just let
Lots
them-
of goblins
So-
that escaped.
So shall we spend the rest
Um,
of the day picking through the dead then?
Really want to go back down there, but sure.
Why?
I'm still like I'm gonna like take off a boot and just like dump out blood sludge.
I'm saying, why are we going back down there? Like,
Oh, I mean,
can we do anything with that? Because I can't.
I mean, we can pick up metal pieces for Mizuki so that she doesn't have to raid people's broken ships anymore.
Pull out all the nails.
I mean, that's fair,
I
but we
didn't
can also
have to.
have.
But we
she
ended
can-
up fixing the ship with it, so
Yeah,
it's
I guess you
fine.
guys just know more about metal stuff than me, because I'm not gonna know what she's gonna find useful and what she's not. But
Any metal.
She just said metal. Like it just has to be metal.
fair enough. I mean,
Can make
Oh, should we dump this chest full of rocks out?
load
I'm
it
gonna
up
take
with
one,
stuff.
put it in my.
Souvenir.
Ah,
Dar.
fool's gold. Darn it.
I love pyrite.
Alright.
So yeah, fine.
At that
I guess
point-
we'll just go down, see what we can find down in the Goblin Valley, and then head back up before nightfall.
Again, it's mostly just. I mean, it's what you would expect for goblins. It's a lot of bone spears, stone spear and arrowheads.
How does
How
Myra
much,
do with all
like,
the
shall we
yucky
say,
gold?
like, how much metal do we find of knickknacks in, like, weight?
All
More than I can
told,
carry.
Yeah, more
I
than
mean, yeah, more than you can carry, but you could probably take back about 15, 20 pounds worth.
15 or,
per
fif-
person.
Well, say 15 per person, yeah,
okay, so
if you wanted to.
45. Okay. We'll just give that to Mizuki when she gets back.
You guys got anything else you want to do overnight?
Yeah, I'm gonna sit and write. Yeah, I'll sit
welcome.
and
Steven just
write.
discovered you can bid more than one bit at a time.
Well,
True.
so at least on mobile, it's your options are like 1, 100, 1,000,
Yeah.
whatever. And so I didn't realize that you could edit that to change the, which makes sense, but I didn't realize it. So
It's okay.
Steven was just sitting here like,
1, 2, 3, 4,
I
5, 6,
gotta
7,
I gotta get a head start.
I guess I'll just make food as
Okay.
time's coming.
Telling stories?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
play on my drum.
Playing your drum, telling stories.
Just relaxing.
I'll
Just
listen-
relaxing.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll listen intently to the stories, like in between, kind of.
We'll fast forward a little bit. We'll assume that you do whatever it is you need to do in town.
So, first of all, I'm packing up as much of my tools as I can carry with me.
Okay.
I
With
am
your
also,
bag of holding,
Yep.
it's quite a few of them.
I am disassembling my magic table.
Okay.
Can I fit that in the bag?
No.
Okay, so I am disassembling it, breaking it up into tiny pieces and disposing of them so that
Okay.
there's no evidence. I'll just have to eat that cost. And
You know, you could. I have a
You flip
perfectly
something
good
Oh,
in room
yeah.
that you could put things.
Just throwing pool cue balls at us.
It's pieces of
but it's still magic.
like
And
I
I-
don't have magic things
But
in my
I don't want them to be able to find it.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
That would be a bad thing for them
yeah.
to have.
Yeah.
So, after doing that, before we go meet up with what's his name, I plan on breaking into several of the storehouses and shops in town to grab a few supplies. So like break into one and grab like
Breaking
little
in
bit
or
of-
legitimately going in?
no, like breaking in after
Oh.
they're closed and stealing some food, but trying to take small enough amounts across the board that it's not super noticeable, if that makes sense. So like instead of taking like, oh, all the rations we're gonna need from this one place, you sort of spread that out around
Yeah.
across a bunch of different places, so it's not enough
It's
that
not
anybody's all of a
suspicious.
sudden like, holy crap, we're missing a whole bunch of stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do that.
and then we'll go. Then that's all. That's what I need
Okay.
to do before we go.
Mizuki will go with Silas.
Okay.
So let me do the math.
So he's going to go back, and he's true to his word. He's basically filling a pack with books. And as he does, you realize that there's a hell of a lot more books going into that bag than it looks like it could hold.
That checks out.
You've seen one of these
You
before.
have seen one of these before.
Yes.
And he's just
Lot of books.
well, yeah. You never know when you're going to need to do some research. And he just keeps
Okay.
dumping books in, and then at the very end he puts a little bit of clothes in on top of things as well, a spare set of robes, a floppy hat that is vaguely pointed but not really, and that goes in on top as
It's
well.
like a pilgrim's hat, but
Great, we have
the tip is
Radagast with
gone.
us.
Yes.
And then he slings the pack on his back and sets off for the vineyard.
I'm just packing up all my stuff. Since I'm traveling, I'm already traveling light. So,
Okay.
Grabbing anything of value for Alma out of his little stash.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have him
Yeah.
sort of
Yeah.
tell you what to look for when he gets back.
Breaking into their house to grab anything we think Simi or Milo might need.
I mean, I feel like
I
you
don't
could
have
also
anything
just
of that.
go in and ask, or
I don't know that. And I don't want like I want as few people as possible to know what I'm doing.
okay,
Okay.
that's
Um,
plausible deniability is a thing.
Exactly.
you do hear a little bit of light snoring from the master bedroom. But you're able to find, whatever it is you're looking for
Yeah,
there.
so just like I'm just gonna go through their stuff and basically anything I'm like, yeah, this is something they might want for a more extended stay.
Yeah.
Thrown in the bag.
Yep. Easily done. Easily done. And about the time you're done, Sionis and Mizuki show up.
Is there a way to put a lock on your bag?
I've been working on something like that, but not right now. Why?
I happen to have a lock.
I mean, I could put a lock on the outside of
Well-
the bag, but that doesn't really help.
My lock is more difficult than your average lock. Just saying.
That still doesn't really help because they could just cut the lock off of my bag.
That's what I'm saying. My lock is more difficult.
Are they not gonna be able to cut the cloth around the lock to pull it? Like, how?
So
Oh,
you
you're
know
talking
that
bag.
if there's damage done to the bag, bad things happen.
Right.
Ah, gotcha.
So like, it's not. At the moment, there is not a good way to do that. Now, the upside
gotcha.
is, unless you know specifically what you're looking for or you know the tricks, you're not actually going to be able to find anything in this bag.
That's true.
You have to either know what you're looking for or you have to know the trick to pull everything out at once. So, not too worried.
Okay. Okay.
But I've been working on something like that, but for later.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
I'm gonna put the lock
is
in
he
my
all
bag.
packed up?
Okay.
Yes.
Great. Wonderful.
He's just got a very light pack on his back.
The handy haversack, as it were.
It seems like you have similar tastes.
You know, now that we have one extra person, maybe we should pick up another uniform.
No.
That was an IDF case.
Because he can make himself not be seen.
Good idea.
Be careful though.
Well, okay.
Why didn't you just do that before?
He did do that before.
He did.
I did.
And
know,
got in trouble
get
for
out.
it.
And then go where?
He's
Yeah.
bad with people.
Yeah.
You just hear the
I
sound
was
of
upstairs at the time.
Okay.
So,
I would have filled you in on everything. Okay, so we are going to cut through the vineyard as quietly as possible. We're going to cut into the trees. We're going to head, point the direction that way for about 3 or 4 miles. Then we will cut back. When we get close to the road, we will wait to make sure that it's safe. We will jump across the road, and we'll keep going till we get to the ford, and then we will cross the river to the south. That is the plan.
didn't you say something about tracking?
Good point. And he's back.
Okay, anyway, so that's the plan. Let's be quick and quiet, and if we're really lucky, this will go off without a hitch.
Wait, so exactly how do they track?
You know, that's never been made clear to me.
They just have something that can, like a compass or something that points the way?
Not a compass, but something similar, yeah.
I know I can. I suppose. Like, I know when other people around are doing magic.
I mean, I did have a table that could show me where magic stuff
So
were
I'm
in the
supposing
area, so
it's something similar.
Really?
there's a lot of Yep,
I'd be interested in picking your brain on the theory of how that works.
sure. Some other time while we're not here.
Seems a little hypocritical for the Imperial to use magic to track magic.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
we
you're not
haven't
wrong.
already figured out that they're hypocrites. I mean,
Yeah,
come on.
this is why I really don't like them.
We
Yes.
need to kill them all.
Jeez,
You're not there, Trish.
You know,
I am not opposed to this plan.
jeez.
You realize that.
What
I,
kind of people have I fallen in with?
Right. I feel you,
Casca,
Silas.
you realize that I. Never mind.
I mean, we don't have to kill literally everyone in the Empire, but like,
A good majority of
I think the world would be a better place if a lot of people in the Empire just stopped existing.
That's
You
a
sound
fair,
like my wife.
fair point.
I mean, it was considered perfectly normal to you that a man tried to take over the life of another person and pretend he was someone he wasn't to escape the fact that his family wanted him dead. And to you, that was a perfectly normal and reasonable thing to do. I'm pretty much on board with the whole idea. Like, most of it's terrible and probably shouldn't exist. Yeah. Anyway,
I'm trying to be good, but those Imperials.
Let's go.
Taking it hard.
Right.
I still don't understand why everyone was so upset about it.
So,
stealthing, and I am assuming they're not, as far as we could tell, they don't have anyone
no.
patrolling the
they
avenue
don't.
we want to
They,
use to
they
get out.
don't. Are you going with them or are you going to stay in town?
Your call.
That is entirely up to you.
We will that map I gave you that shows you the place, we will probably be there in...
Do you need me tonight?
I don't think so.
Then I feel like it's probably best if I stay here.
Yep. You've got
And-
the messaging stone, so
Yes,
just let me
I'm
know.
sending some, and at least try to maybe see what I can find out.
Yep.
As to what is happening.
And I did tell Kel that if he needs to get in touch with Alma, you are the person to come talk to about that. And if our family or friends are asking about us, you can tell them you have a way
Yeah,
to get messages to us. That's,
Alright, yes.
we told them the cover
Yeah.
story,
Then
we
you might
went
know
through
that
you
it's
all
just
that jazz.
stuff
Anyway,
stuff there. So it's not a big deal.
But yeah, we got stuff.
Perfect.
off to go.
All
You
right.
don't need to worry about it.
So the three of you then, you and you and Sionis, set off through the vineyard. And Mizuki, as you're turning to go, there is a figure coming up the road towards the farmhouse at the winery.
Well,
Okay.
damn.
It is a figure you recognize. He,
Oh, crap.
he is wearing robes of the order. And he is it's Akarai Rosk, Master
Got out of there just in time.
Akarai Rosk.
Uh-oh.
Great.
And he pauses for a moment at the gate leading up to the farmhouse and just sort of looks up at it.
I'm gonna have to go back regardless.
You can never.
And then
go
he
back.
sees you and he's like, "Oh,
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm new in town, and I was told that one of my brethren has taken to staying here occasionally.
I'm sorry, sir.
One
Do
of
you mean
your
your side chick?
brethren?
Yes.
Perhaps.
A member of my order. I believe her name is, or she goes by Simi. Simi Alishi.
Yes.
Either does not speak Elvish or is a terrible human being.
Or both.
Yes.
Has yet to be seen.
So yes, she does stay here.
Kind of.
Yes, often she visits here, I suppose, but usually she's at the border.
She was not at the cloister, and
Ah.
I was told when she's not there, she tends to be here. Do you happen to know? And he looks up, and all the windows are dark. Says, I don't suppose you know if she's here now, do you?
No.
I don't believe so.
Oh. All right. Well,
But is there anything else I could help you with?
no, that's quite all right. Thank you.
All right.
And
Have a good evening.
good evening. Be safe. And he turns and walks back down the road.
Be safe. Was that a threat?
Be safe. Was that a threat? Have a
Well.
good evening. But don't.
Well, don't pout. He could have been there to kill you. Do it.
Strike her
I mean, at least this way he's not even gonna go talk to Deidre or anything, so.
Also, I love that you're like, oh, I'm gonna have to go back, and I'm firmly like, nope,
Nope.
we're not going back.
We're going to be tracking a tower.
Once I get, I suppose once I get back to
There are
the
some
inn,
problems with that, though.
I'll probably send to Killian
Okay.
that Master, but
Rusk.
the Master Rosk is looking for Simi.
My response back is, well, shit, they move fast.
Are you surprised?
I mean, I was kind of hoping he'd take a little bit more time to get settled in, be pampered, I don't know, whatever it is they do.
I don't think the order does pampering.
That depends on who you are.
Do they get back?
Okay, so that was your 3 uses. That exchange back and forth. It's
You can reply.
You can reply, but it's 1, 2
Okay.
I wouldn't have replied to that.
to the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
okay.
your reply has to be in reply to her sending. And
Right,
if-
so she's used it hers 3 times, but
Mhm.
I still have my 3 uses, right?
Yeah, you still have
Yeah,
your
okay,
3
okay.
uses. But hers
uses
is
per
hers
day, or-
for
Yeah,
3
sending.
uses per day.
Yours for sending is until the next day is
I figured
done.
that was probably the most important
It's
thing.
like the sending spell, so 25 words
Okay,
or less.
Yeah, 25 words, and you can. The only difference between these and normal sending stones is you can use these 3 times a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
All right, so you guys travel through the night, and right around daybreak, you get to the camp where you left it.
I suppose at this point we're reheating the fire.
Yeah, you're
Also,
reheating.
you guys would have been alerted because I set my alarm spell to alert when anybody was crossing it, so you guys would have. That spell would go off as soon as we crossed the barrier.
Oh,
Alma drops the balls he was, or the rocks that he was trying to learn to dribble with. Dang it!
welcome back.
Hi.
There's an extra person with them as they come back.
Who is this?
We're gonna get to that.
Okay.
So
What happened?
first, no, is the tower still there?
Nope.
No.
Damn.
Ingir will quickly pop images into your mind of what happened.
Goblin's still there?
I'll show you in a second.
I love how Ingir communicates.
Oh, wow.
Penis tower thing.
Oh, all right. So I feel like I'm getting most of this, but just to make sure,
Uh-huh.
is that large phallic object
That
flying into the sky?
Yes, the tower lifted off of the ground after it sunk into the ground, and then took off westward.
You know, when you said moved, I kind of assumed you meant like teleported or walked, not flew.
Oh
But
no, she's very flamboyant. She likes
Who is?
to be seen.
We're getting to that.
Okay.
Well, clearly the witch woman.
Okay, so I'm seeing
Yeah,
dead
that checks
people.
out.
Yeah, all of the goblins,
Oh.
except for a few smatterings,
That's
are
kind of
dead.
the point.
So
Do you want?
back in the valley, there's
Oh,
like
it's
a couple
real gross.
thousand dead goblins.
How did that
real
happen?
Gross.
Uh,
Stone golems.
so you see the red thing.
Oh,
She summoned a bunch of those and
I
it quickly dispatched of most of the goblins.
great.
Well,
They were huge.
Now I
And
also
Woodbine
see
big
you
house.
sledding
So there was a chest, and we thought it had
You could have left
valuables in
that
it.
part out.
Talk to Ingir. Talk to Ingir
So she traded with the goblins
for the box.
and then killed the goblins, and we stole the box, but it was worthless. Although I do have these new stones that I'm trying to learn to juggle.
They are very sharp.
And we do have like 45 pounds of metal,
Nice.
And there's more down there.
Oh, great.
For harvest.
but that's
So,
only like 4.5 gold.
We cannot go back to town right now.
What happened?
Why?
Why?
There's guards everywhere.
So they have checkpoints on the roads, and they're not letting people leave. We had to sneak back out
Well,
of town.
You can only leave after you've been interrogated.
And I
Yeah,
take
you
it
have to
Mizuki
be
didn't come with
interrogated
you
by
guys?
Lars. No, we'll get there. So there's checkpoints on the road.
Uh-oh.
The Imperial Garrison and Lars are not letting anyone leave town unless you've talked to Lars. He's asking about our shape-shifting friends
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
and about magic weapon trade.
Yes.
Well, none of us.
Yeah, I haven't given or sold anyone a magic weapon, so I don't know what they're talking
You
about.
didn't set up shop in town, did you?
No.
Okay.
No.
So in addition to that, we also, on our way in, saw a familiar face right into town.
Of who?
Wait, what did I do?
Someone the two of you are well acquainted with. Apparently, your friend Akarai.
You mean the Impellian Orders back
Her
in town?
face just like
I mean, Akarai
Yeah.
with a bunch of other people showed back up in town.
Oh, I'm so glad
Yeah.
neither you
And
or I were
they
down
are
there.
presumably they're looking for magic. So I locked up all my stuff, disassembled everything I left in town. We can't go back for a good little while.
You cannot go back. You cannot
No.
go back.
It's,
You
yeah,
can't.
it's a little
Dude.
while.
You didn't let me go down there. You cannot go back.
I mean,
Are you
that seems like a
wanting?
fair
So
trade.
so are you thinking that the best thing to do when the man that we impersonated that you were seen leaving town with shows back up is to go back down into town and talk to him?
not for that
Especially
reason.
because he's looking for you.
And he is specifically
Not that.
looking for you,
That reason
which
is
is
kind of important.
is exactly why you're not
What,
going to
the-
be available.
What, the reason?
If you go back into town, you will be at risk.
Yeah.
There is a very, very good chance that you're going to be executed if you go back.
Mm-hmm.
Now is not the time to have a reunion.
They came by your house looking for you. So, they know you're in town often. They're there, at least in part, specifically for you. Don't go back.
Well, for you and me.
So the Imperial Guard has locked down the city, hoping to find shifters, and
Right.
the Impellian Orders there
Looking
after
for
the
magic.
aftermath
Yep.
of
Yes.
what
Now,
we
while... But we'll circle back around to this. While we were discussing this, someone was rather clumsy, and we discovered our friend here, invisible, hiding in Mizuki's room while we were discussing.
another
our plan.
person who has
Oh, he's
He's
300
a
and some odd years
researcher.
old. He's a wizard.
Wait, so you
He's
were
a
peeping in
researcher.
Mizuki's room?
Yep.
That's creepy, man.
I wasn't peeping. That's not what I was looking
Nope,
for.
he was just watching.
He
Why
saw
would
us
you-
and thought, oh, those look like people who know a way out of town
Why
to avoid the
recognize him?
Imperials, and thought the best thing to
Yes.
do was to hide
Hmm.
in the room.
yes.
listening
Make
to us.
me a
Yeah, I'm a little
history
suspicious,
check.
Anyway, he knows the name and is familiar with the person who owns the tower that flies.
Yes.
And that is why we brought him with us.
Wow.
He
What do you want?
is in town also looking for the
Yes.
secret dwarf city with the magic stuff.
Who isn't at this point?
Apparently everyone is.
You've seen him
I'm not.
in the Imperial Library in Capital City.
Do I know what his name was?
No, you've
Okay.
just seen him, but he was sort of a fixture in the
Right.
library.
So we brought him with us.
Well, I recognize him.
What?
How you recognize him?
He used to work in the Imperial Library. I used to be a guard at the library. Well, not at the library per se, but I used to be a guard in the, Costas, that's the name.
I don't remember you, and I've got a very good memory for
I mean,
faces.
would you have any reason to remember him?
Excuse me.
He was just a guard. Do you go out of your way to memorize every guard? That has to be a lot of people.
I have no idea.
Anyway, so I brought him with us because he knows about that tower and is also looking for the box,
Yes.
though he didn't know it.
Well, the box is now in the flying tower.
Yeah, I kind of figured. So,
Oh, we also brought stuff.
oh yeah, so
Oh.
we'll get there.
Yeah.
So, we have developed a story. If anyone in town comes looking, we are all out of town working on a secret project for Mizuki.
Okay.
And
Sounds reasonable.
that is
Yep.
why we're gone. She's going to work up the paperwork.
Yep.
She has a way to contact us if anyone in town needs to get a message to us.
Your bird?
No.
No.
Okay,
A more discreet way.
that's good.
Okay.
So, there's a place I know that from here it's probably about 2.5 days where we can set up shop and be reasonably safe and secure for now.
What is it?
So, this is going to be kind of hard to explain. Right now, it's a clearing in a heavily forested area. When we get there, there will be a structure erected.
Is it something you've made?
Yes.
Okay.
I promise I'm not actually 12. I
Although
can't
you're playing a character who's pretending to be
go.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, you can.
Nope.
Why not?
Because I need to go let the rest of the changelings know that they can't go forward with
We've
the plan
already-
to go back into town.
Already know. We talked to your dad.
Yes.
He's going to contact Olmo as soon as possible and let him know things have changed and direct Olmo to us.
But you can't
We
go
need
back.
to let them know. No, not to town.
No.
But
Right.
they're
But,
not going to be there right now anyway.
But we're at about the time that we said that we were going to try to integrate them into town.
No, yeah, I know.
But they don't.
But Olmo knew that before they could come back, he had to come meet with us so that we could get everything set up and have our story
True.
straight. So they won't come back.
Do they have enough supplies at this point?
I don't know. We can stop in on them when we get the chance. Right now, I think the most important thing is for us to set up a home away from home. Unless you think it's important enough, you think we should stop there before then. But it's kind of out of our way.
I'm not saying that you all have to.
The-
I am going to go check on them and make sure
Now-
they have supplies because they can't get anything out of town now.
Here's the other problem. Well, okay, that's not entirely true.
Yeah.
Some people are going to be able to leave town. Basically, Lars is wanting to interrogate everyone first. The other problem is, I grabbed a bunch of supplies, but not enough to restock them and us.
I have like 19 gold worth of food in my pack that I can give to them.
That's
if
not
they want.
enough. No, I just want to make sure that they have a way.
I mean, I understand, but I don't think... We're kind of in the same boat they are at the moment, where we don't have a good way to get them supplies either. They're going to have to wait for things to cool off in town enough that they can start getting supplies out.
Yeah. And so are we going to go after the tower then?
Eventually.
Okay.
We have to figure out...
Where it is.
Well, and we have to figure out... We have a lot of stuff we got to decide what's the most
Oh,
important
yeah.
thing to deal with at the moment.
True. But I
So-
don't think she knows the spot where the entrance is because she headed in the opposite direction.
Unless there's more than one entrance. If it was an empire, it would make sense that there's
Yeah.
more than one way in and out.
True.
Sionis, how likely is it that she knows where this thing is? Here, let me tell you what she has now. She now has a box that has a crystal orb,
Okay.
a ritual dagger. What was that? There was something else in the box.
No, that
wasn't
was
there?
it. It was
That
it.
was
and,
it.
and a ritual dagger and a plaque with a little saying that's like east is west, south is north, and never more shall venture forth the anvil and the hammer slain. They lie besides the prince called Dane, king, son of he who was king at Augur's Fall, or something like that. That is the box she now has. I am assuming that those objects are keys to find or open or access the tomb of the prince where magic warhammer thing is.
I'll start boiling some coffee.
Yes, thank you.
No,
Those are actually that's
tea.
actually
No, I know.
very
If
good
it's
actually
coffee,
Yes.
deductions.
Coffee.
Yes. I will
What is
tell you that
I know.
But
coffee is.
nothing
water.
that
True.
I have ever found in my research and for a little while, she and I were sharing research. Don't want to go into that too deeply, but nothing that I've found in any of my research gave a specific location to either the tomb or the city
But
itself.
she knew about that there was a key, so.
Well,
the key was common knowledge, and that
Yeah.
and that there is a tomb is common
the
knowledge.
secret part was where the key was,
And
which obviously
where the
they
tomb
figured out
is.
pretty fast.
And we know the location where the key is. One of the locations, or the location of where the key is supposed to go, right?
Maybe.
Possible.
We found a thing that might be. We found a wall with the hammer and anvil sigil, and when you
Ingir,
get close to it, it disrupted some
I'm
illusion
gonna have
magic.
Ingir pop it into his head.
That's what we found.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And as it fades, do that again. Do that again.
Oh, good lord.
Oh, this is fascinating. Clearly,
Ingir can just keep doing it if you want.
clearly, late dwarf, and he starts going off. I mean,
Stop
he's,
talking. Can you make food?
But
Oh, that's a good yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about cooking.
Can you magic food? Can you create food and stuff?
let me think if I remember how this spell goes.
Not
I'm
right
gonna
now.
back. I'm gonna
Not-
back.
but you,
Uh,
you can.
the-
You can. You are
Yes.
capable.
Yes.
I'm taking him. We're going.
We're all going because I'm not letting you go by yourself, and I'm not letting the
Well-
crazy old wizard out of my sight.
We can give him all of that stuff, and then we can just have him keep making food for us.
Well,
Now,
he can then go explore because that's we're
Well,
talking
the
about
problem
the
is we
same
can't
place.
get through the door.
That's his problem.
now, do you want to go there right now,
Yes.
or do you want to have us? Because we also, we have a whole bunch of stuff, and we have told people where to find us.
Two groups.
I would really like to not split up again.
I mean, I feel like the
It
goblin
will
threat in
put
the
us
valley
back
is
by a
gone,
couple
but
days.
there's still kobolds.
Do you
in the house.
think that will be a problem?
I
I
don't-
don't think it will be. I don't think it'll matter.
I don't know. There's kids.
Well, yeah, but as their supplies are like, these people are not stupid.
No.
They've done this before, so I think they'll be okay for a couple of days, running a little low on supplies.
But we don't know how much they had to begin with.
Didn't-
I think it's unlikely that they had a
Didn't we?
surplus.
I know.
I'm assuming that they know how to ration their supplies to make it last a while.
So-
If
What's
they
your
know
plan?
that they need to ration.
So what's your plan when you get there?
I don't care what we do when we get there, but somebody who can make food for them should be there.
No, yeah, absolutely. For sure. I'm just saying
And
we're
as
either
soon
going to
as-
go to them first, or we go set up our site, get all that stuff ready, and then head to them. I would like to have that all set up and ready to go, but if you feel like they might be in danger if we take a few extra days to do that, we can just go straight there.
I think it's not worth risking lives on the off chance that that might not be an issue.
Okay, so we will stop there, drop off the supplies, let them know what's going on, and then we will go to our site and build it up.
Are you okay with that? That is where that door thing that you just saw is?
Oh, that'll give me time to do some study.
No, it won't.
No?
We're going. Okay.
Let's
There
do this
is
again.
You're super old. You know all about magic. There's a group of shapeshifters
Okay.
hiding out in a cave
All right.
Which
where
the
that door
door
is. We need you. So they were getting supplies from town, but the
Okay.
town is in lockdown in part looking for them. So
Oh.
they're not going to be able to get their normal supplies for a little while. Hence, if you can create some food for them, we will stop by
Okay.
there, create some food for them,
Check see how they're
and
doing.
then we will go and set up a secondary site. We will have there will be a tower and a wall and a whole bunch of stuff, and then we can start planning exactly how we're going to go about this.
Plus, we can give you at least half an hour looking at the door.
Yeah, like you can look at it, but like we can't stay there for a super long time. We have to
Okay.
set up a base of operations first, because I don't think we're going to be able to do much with it anyway without the box of the stuff
Okay.
that your friend Nora now has.
And we need to track down Nora after that.
Okay.
On an unrelated note, what do you know about lizards that come out of the sky that worship strange
Numbers?
numbers of like the 4 that are 1 and that you don't know anything, never encountered it before?
No.
Okay.
You know the red lizards that came down from the sky, the meteorite.
Happened like
things?
right when you got here.
Yeah, those I know.
Right.
Yeah, apparently,
Is there something-
Apparently, they're also looking for.
They
the same
worship
thing.
this. They worship this thing called the One that is Four, and they drained a lady of her magic, and they're not from around here, and they do weird stuff.
Weird stuff.
And they're looking for the dwarven city.
They have these like crystals with like
Blood.
liquid in them that like provides energy for their magic.
Huh.
They talk a lot about what are they? Dragons.
Dragons.
Yep.
No.
Okay, mystery to solve another
no.
day.
Mhm.
Problem for tomorrow.
Huh.
So I know you guys just walked all night. Are you okay to move?
Actually, question for you: do you have a way for us to travel faster?
Can you make a tower that flies?
Well, maybe not that extreme, but
That would take
something.
me a little time. If I know if I have a good idea where I'm going,
It's a fine, good idea.
Like if we drew you a map.
I mean that would be
If
helpful.
you've seen it.
If I've seen it, yeah. If
Okay.
I've seen it.
But he doesn't get out much.
Can you? Wait! So as soon as hang on. There is one thing we have to do before you do that. Hold on. I have to do a thing.
It's
And
all
I'm-
over again.
I'm going to pull out a little hummingbird, a little mechanical hummingbird. All right,
What is that?
this is Jeffrey. Okay, Jeffrey. There was a tower here, a big magic tower. I want you to find that tower. It flew that way.
West.
Can you do that? There is a magical tower. Can you follow the magic if I show you where it was? Keith, what information do I need to give my friend?
It would have either needed to see it, or you need to have something from the tower to show it.
Oh,
Strongbox?
here's this steamer trunk.
This box came from the tower.
Is it about to explode? I think it's about
Nope.
to.
Nope. Off you go, Jeffrey. Good job. Okay, now we can go.
What does that do?
Oh, so that's Jeffrey. His job is to find things for us. Because, we often truck around looking for things and we're really bad at finding them. So I made Jeffrey, and he can find things, and then he'll come back and tell us where he went and show us how to get there.
Are we waiting here for him?
No, he'll find me. He knows how to find me.
Okay, I'm gonna do minor illusion, and I'm gonna give him an idea of the approach to this place. From not from bird's eye view, but from my view.
And I'll pop as many of my memories that I remember into his head of the area.
Okay.
That'll be interesting.
This is such a bad.
That did not have, changed me.
Right. So he sort of absorbs all of that. He grabs his staff, steps over it
Boy, that's
to a
pretty
clear
bad.
spot in the clearing, draws in the snow a great big circle,
I'm
and then
intense.
then another great big circle.
As
Hold my
he's
bag
doing this,
open.
we're going to start deconstructing.
And then he starts carving
Grab my
runes
frying
into
pan.
into the circle.
I can't
Some
go with
complicated.
Yeah, you can.
Why not?
All right.
Hang on.
Don't turn that on till we tell you.
Why not?
Why?
you. Because they can find me.
How?
They hunt magic users. Do you think magic users are the only people that they can hunt?
No, but you're in the middle of nowhere and they have no idea how to find you.
Plus,
If
if
They
we,
knew you were in town because you
plus if
transferred
they even
there.
track
There was paperwork.
the gentlemen here that have arrived, we're going to bamf to a different location in the
Clear.
world.
Like
so.
I get that they can track you,
But
but,
they can
the
track all
goal
of
that's
us
the same
exactly
way.
why we're not
Yeah.
going back near
If
town. We're gonna
they
move
were
around and stay away from
able
them.
to just track you like that.
Will you
then they
listen to
wouldn't
me
be
for a
finding
second?
Sure.
Okay, so there are things at play here that I might have set into motion.
Did you know about this?
And
That's
regardless of whether that has anything to do with this or not, the problem is if I'm not there and he is looking for me, he will use the methods that he has. It's not a matter of survival tracking. This is a matter of they can find me wherever I am.
How?
So leaving you would make sense. How?
Because if I come with you, they will know where your place is. And
As opposed to them finding you by yourself and killing you there. We're not going to let that happen either.
if I go back, I might be able to at least throw some off of the trail. It looks less suspicious. I'll be able to discuss things with people.
Then what's to stop them from also just doing this to us?
Because they don't know you. They're not hunting you. They're hunting me.
They're going to start hunting us if we don't show back up in town eventually.
Which I'm sure you will at some point in time, maybe.
Not
But-
while they're there, we're not.
Do they have any reason to specifically be targeting you?
Yes.
His
Like-
grandmother was taken for sedition and then escaped.
Do they have anything
Master
of
Rust's
yours
face.
personally?
Yes. We left entire buildings full of our stuff back there.
And
Okay, you're not the only one they're going to be able to track. The question is, if they do this and they see where you are, do they just immediately know exactly where you are on the whole face of the earth and they can just zoom right to you?
For me, yeah, right?
Can they just teleport right to where you are?
You know there is such a thing as scrying. You are not privy to the particulars.
Because
You don't
everything
know what they
I've seen
get.
about magical detection, one, sure, they can see where you are, and they might be able to figure out where that is, but they're not going to be able to just pop
They're
right
the middle
in.
of
And as you
nowhere.
do that, there's a flash of blue energy from behind you, and the circle that he's been drawing is now glowing faintly.
They're not going to be able to just do that, because I've studied how you detect magic, how you find people. I'm planning on setting up defenses to prevent them from just waltzing in on us so that we can escape before they show up.
Also, then it's on our turf and not theirs.
Well, then you also need to have those things set up before I get there, because right now we know that they are looking for me.
well, not necessarily looking.
The plan
looking
I
for
have
you.
in motion
You also
will
knew that they were
allow
looking
us
for her in town.
to pack everything up and
Actually,
move
we don't
it
know that they were
in a
looking
day
for her.
if we need to.
He said.
So we
allow
can
us.
just keep shifting around. If you go back and they decide that they're there to execute you, then what? You just expect us to say, well, that sucks that our friend got captured, who, in addition to being our friend who we care about, also happens to know a whole bunch of secrets about us?
Plus someone.
That's totally fine. We should just be chill with that plan.
Plus someone I know very, very dearly would not be happy that he would return and you would be dead.
If he even returns.
We're working on that.
You want to sell, so you're going to have to sell me real hard on this idea.
If I go back, I have documented a lot of interesting things, most of which are not true.
Okay.
So if they begin to ask questions, or if they execute me without even bothering to ask questions and just do the research later, what they're going to find is going to pretty well clear you of any involvement in this. Which,
Unless they torture you for information, in which case.
do you really think that that is a thing that would work on me at this point?
Given time?
Given time.
I think torture works on anyone eventually, and if they have the magical ability to track us wherever they go, I'm confident they can come up with some magical ability to just pull the information out of your head.
Plus, you're not the only.
Hello? What is this thing?
Oh, right, okay. We will finish this discussion later. At the very least, this gets you closer to town. Through the magic
Through
spell.
through.
Through the teleportation circle that pops you guys out right in front of the wall, deep within the cavern.
Oh.
Wow, that was real accurate.
Wow. Didn't even roll.
Holy cow.
Roll me
Oh,
a
dear.
just roll me dexterity.
All of
That's
us.
cocked.
Just him.
No, because he's got the
'Cause
magical
his-
illusion
yeah.
up.
Saving throw.
No, just dexterity.
10. Actually, hold on. I have a reroll. Let me reroll it real quick.
We figured out that this doesn't do anything to me, right?
Right.
Yeah.
13.
Yours is
13.
not an illusion.
It's still close enough. Odds or evens?
Odds.
As you materialize,
Man was dead.
you don't notice anything because it's.
Can I yank him away?
You can.
I'm as soon as I can. I'm
Yeah,
pulling away, so it's
but
fast enough.
He
that-
was starting. To,
Oh no, I'm sure.
yeah.
I just want to be fast enough that like no one actually sees him.
Or can identify him, because they all change shapes too.
Yeah, I don't care if they know he has an illusion on. I care that they see through it.
Okay. None of the people that are in the cavern seemed to notice.
And I'm going to immediately start changing.
Except, is Sionis looking at him?
Yeah.
No. Later. Sionis. Later.
A secret
Not
spoken
here.
grows wings.
Not here. Not now. We have things to do. Later.
Yes, we do.
Later.
Hello, everyone.
Hi guys.
And there is a full cavern around you guys of probably 40 or 50 humanoids, various ages, or various apparent ages.
Damn it, there was only supposed to be like 20 people here.
How many are
Be
there?
close, but I'm gonna
How many are there?
not here.
Almost 50.
Oh.
Wait just a minute. Because okay, you two, these are your people. They need food and water. If you can do that, if
Yeah.
they need information about what was going on in town that you can't provide, send them out to us. We're going to clear out and give them some space. Hey guys, great to see you. We're
Okay.
Yep.
Do
Hi,
you
bye.
have food with you?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. You want me to just give them my food?
No. It's Sionis will
fine.
provide them with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
going to
and-
need our supplies
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
supply
Okay.
us.
So we'll just read it as read that he does his thing. Any conversations you want to have, we will have those between sessions. We're getting down to it at this point.
So,
And then he's also going to spend a little bit of time looking at things.
So,
Outside.
I believe we were discussing why you going back isn't a great plan. If you can explain to me what exactly you hope to accomplish, like, I get it, but I don't think that that's going to do us much good.
I can at least probably, assuming that the intent is not to murder me on sight, I feel like I can buy you time. Because
But-
the assumption is going to automatically be that I was with a shapeshifter. Whether I knew about that or not is a different thing. But
Buying us time isn't going to matter because then they'll have you, and then we're going to have to come up with some plan to break you out and get you away. So, you're not really buying us that much
really,
time.
you don't have to.
So
Right,
he's
and
gonna
you're gonna be
sacrifice
totally
herself.
cool if one of us gets captured. You'd be totally fine just letting us waste away in a dungeon or die. You'd be fine sitting on the sideline. You wouldn't feel a need to help out or save our lives or anything.
You guys, like, have people there that...
You're one of our people that is there that we care about. It's not gonna fly. We'll burn the whole... we will march into the capital and try and burn the place down to get you out if we have to, okay?
Please don't do
It's
that. Please
mostly
don't.
made of stone, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Funny enough, I actually, I might have a solution to burning that down, actually.
It's such a nice castle, though.
Worries.
He's been-
Anyway.
he's been working on stuff.
Anyway, so
He
I
is the
don't see
IRA.
why you going back is going to do us any good. Especially when the other
Yes.
option is we stay away from town, out in the middle of nowhere, we set up defenses, we make ourselves really difficult to actually find, and we hope that they're not actually here to arrest any of us, they're just there to investigate, and eventually they'll leave.
I worry more about the danger of me being with you.
It's not going to be any more dangerous than the fact that we have a whole bunch of people who do a whole bunch of illegal things, not to mention him.
Yeah, I can't go while...
Like,
I haven't been able to go walk around town because of certain individuals.
if they find
That are in
out who
town.
we are, it's a death sentence if they just find one of us. It's a death sentence.
Yes.
Adding another death sentence on top of that isn't really much at this point.
Plus, who knows if any of the... Because there were a few impelling
You
orders
have
at the
3 life
at the
sentences.
Great Hall when
Oh,
the
shit.
thing happened, right?
There were a couple.
And who knows if any of them might recognize
Yeah.
me.
I think our best bet right now is staying out of town. We have an excuse for why we are
Remember, you didn't
unavailable.
change until after.
We set up this
No,
whole
I-
thing with
I understand,
Mizuki
but
where
some of
her
them might have
family's
seen
business
Milo
has
leaving
employing
together.
us to help collect materials for a very secret business thing they have going on. She's got a whole bunch of paperwork. That's our excuse if they start saying, hey, why haven't these people been around? Mizuki's in with Lars. She actually had a little paper saying she was free to leave town whenever she wanted. She's going to explain to them that we are out working for her, and because of the serious nature and secretive nature of what she's doing, we're not easy to contact.
I mean, the Itzo family is...
So
like,
it's not like they're going to be like, wow, you haven't showed up in a day.
Well,
We better jump right on it and start finding them.
My concern with that, however, is that you are dealing with someone from the Order who also knows that it's not incredibly frequent that personal family business hires out from the Appellate Order in Podunk, middle of nowhere, to be doing their jobs.
It's also not particularly normal for a bunch of Appellian Order people and an entire garrison and one of the princes to go out into the middle of Podunk nowhere and shut the whole town down.
Yeah.
We're pretty firmly in the realm of abnormal things go on here.
Well, yes.
So I'm not too worried about him being like, oh, that's kind of strange. Everything here is strange. This is all weird. And you've done work with us before.
But never that's taken me away in that way for a personal family's business.
We were hired out as mercenaries and went and tracked down bandits and were gone for a few days.
By the
Yes.
city.
Well, no, by the Impellian Order and the city. Not the Impellian Order, the
We weren't
Imperial
working
Guard.
for the Imperials or the Appellian Order. We were working for a private business.
Yeah.
Was it not the city?
No.
No,
Okay, that's
it
It,
was
it was
No, it
it was
was
a
the
private
city.
business that was
Okay.
hired. Her job was she got paid to send the taxes.
Gotcha.
She's the one we worked for.
Gotcha. Okay.
Which is close
Maybe
to being,
remember that
which is
differently.
close to working with the city, but
So, like,
not really.
Sure,
Like
it's a
private
little
contractors.
weird, but it's not like this is suddenly unexpected, and it's not like you don't spend lots of time with us. Also, is it normal for members of your order to not live in the cloister, but instead go hang out at their family's house and get drunk? Are those considered normal things? Didn't think so. So, I don't think it's going to be surprising that you're abnormal and don't do the normal thing. I don't think anyone will be shocked by this information.
Also, if I don't show up, I'm a little bit worried that somebody's going to end up getting accused of something that I might have done.
Who's going to get accused of something that you did?
I don't know who, but not me if I'm not there.
And it's better for you to show up in case someone... What are you worried about someone getting accused of?
Punching someone to death?
Have you told people about what you can do and you don't trust them?
No?
Then what are you worried about? I believe this is the moment that I remind you all cards out on the table. Miss, I don't have cards in my hand.
So...
Yeah.
Oh. I get it now.
Alma's not there.
Yes.
Oh.
You know the thing where they started questioning people for a thing that happened in town regarding one of the
Oh, it's for
officers? Oh, it's for me,
Oh.
never mind.
Alright.
What?
What? What do you mean?
Sorry.
Did I write too small? I'm sorry.
No, I just have little focus.
Please hold. Receiving divine communication.
Yes.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay.
There's a lot of questioning for things that people did. You're gonna have to be a lot more specific.
Mm-hmm.
When the officer ended up real worse for the wear with a note around his neck.
Oh, right.
Oh,
Oh.
did you do that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh. Have you been taking justice out?
Why did you do
Just
that?
once, he beat the hell out of a woman in town in front of her kids, and it just didn't.
So is this what?
And you
Zoigan-
left him alive because
Because I didn't want to kill anything else.
you didn't want to kill him
You didn't
because.
see me.
Wait.
I made sure of that.
No. I'm
Yeah.
just you felt like he deserved to be beat up but not killed.
We're not talking about the reason. The
Like
how you
I
did
don't
it.
have
We're
a
talking
problem
about the
you did
reason.
this. I'm wondering why he's not dead.
He didn't kill. It seemed.
Okay, that's.
I removed him from the gene pool effectively.
Oh,
That is
okay.
fair. That is
I forgot
logical.
that wasn't public knowledge. Sorry.
I don't know why they would assume that you did it. They're looking for a nest of shape-shifting people. Why would they
Yes.
assume you did it?
That's the problem. If I didn't do it, somebody else is going to get pinned with it.
I mean, this is the Empire. Someone's gonna get pinned for it regardless of what happens. For all we know, you're gonna show back up. Akarai, whatever's gonna not want you to take the blame for it, and he's gonna have somebody else blame for it, too. Like, it's not like this is a super fair, just system to begin with.
But I am not comfortable with somebody else taking the fall for something that I know that I did.
Well, if we find out that someone else is taking the fall for it, we'll go stop it. But I honestly don't think that is their most important concern at the moment, and I'm pretty sure they're just going to assume that the shapeshifters are doing it, and they want to hunt the shapeshifters down and kill them anyway. So giving them one more reason doesn't seem to be doing anyone any harm.
That's true.
Yeah.
Again, it's just one more reason they'd like to find those people and kill them. I get you don't want someone else to take the blame, and if someone does take the blame, I'm all for going and, preventing that and fixing it. But going back into town just because they might blame somebody else for it, when there's no evidence that it's you or anyone
there were
else.
several other reasons there that you just kind of skimmed over.
All right,
but
then
yeah.
unskim them for us.
Yeah.
Well, you've already we've
Yes,
gone through
we
them.
have gone
you
through
have
your
shot
reasons.
them individually down, but it wasn't just a one reason.
I
thing.
understand, but
Right.
so far you have yet to offer up any good reason why it would be better for you to go back to town where they're looking for you than stay here with us.
And keep Alma safe.
And if you're here with us, then you can help protect us and help us. If you go off into town, you can't help us. If we get into trouble, there's nothing you're going to be able to do about
I
it.
mean, to be
You're
fair,
all like freaking little demigods anyway. What am I supposed to do?
protect us.
Alma literally almost died to a bear. Not 2 months ago. Wouldn't call us demigods. Also, I'm not the one who has a god talking in my head. Pew pew!
You hear a little chuckle at that in your ears.
Hey.
Not,
Not
you.
I
Oh,
am, no.
Milo.
Milo.
I am
So,
no demigod. I talk
I-
my way up.
Again,
Try to.
I am not seeing why it's better to have you not with us than with us.
And to be fair, you're probably the best fighter in our group
Yeah.
at the
Yeah,
moment.
it's true.
You guys can like blow shit up and stuff.
True, but we can't do that in front of people.
Also, is there a limit to how many times you can punch someone?
I'm sure eventually, but not that
Yeah.
I've found
The
yet.
rest of us are pretty
Yeah.
limited.
We get tapped after less than a minute.
We have to use weapons.
We have to fight someone more than once a day, and
Okay.
we're all going to run out of stuff pretty fast.
How long is it going to take you to be able to figure out how to set up a perimeter so that we can't be found? Like, what's involved?
So it's going to
with
take
that?
Okay. So, I was working on a project over the last month, so I have this big stone. And when I put it in the ground over the course of a day, from that stone will be a large 3-story tower with a wall around it, like a little mini fort thing.
Ooh.
And will it be able to not be seen into?
Not on its own, but I also have lead with me,
Okay.
so I can line a room with lead.
We're all gonna die of cancer.
And lead does block the
It's
ability to
fine.
detect magic. I did this to my basement as well. This is why I felt
Would
safe
a-
you doing stuff in there
would a-
because it couldn't be accessed.
a lead like headband protector.
I don't know. and I could probably, I'm sure we could
Brain
make
cancer.
something that would more protect her more specifically. But so we're looking at a couple days, and all my defenses and everything I've been brought with me should be set up. And
We could
again,
also just
If
make
thee
you
and
an
thy king
asbestos
hath been
lined-
exposed to lead or asbestos, please
And again,
contact your solicitor.
just make a
if they
mask
start
out
looking
of
for us, unless
asbestos.
they are immediately assuming we're hiding from them, we have a good reason for not being around. It's going to take a little bit before they should start getting real suspicious about why we haven't come back.
And if they do find us and are like, "What is this tower?" We can just say we found it, and we're
Well,
this is our base
actually,
of op-
if they
this is our base of operations.
okay, so that's
under-
sort of
Stumbled upon it.
that's sort of the other thing is the tower and everything in it can minus people can be shrunk back down to that stone and picked up and moved and brought back up somewhere
Okay.
else. So like we could pack it all up and move it in a couple days.
And once you let it, would it be permanently leaded?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So we go
Okay.
to a random place. We set up for a
And
couple
if they
of days.
really start harking, like coming and looking for you, Mizuki will buy us time, and she's Lars's whatever.
and plus we've
So
been able to
they're not going to
evade-
want to.
Plus we've
push
been able
that
to
too much.
evade the guards so far. So I mean, it's not like they're well. I guess they have the Impellian Order, but
I mean, it's not like they'll never come looking for us, but I'm not expecting them to start tracking us down in the next day unless they already knew what we've been up to. And if that's the case, it doesn't matter what we do; they're going to come for us all,
Yeah.
right? It doesn't matter if you go back, if I go, they're going to come for everybody.
So, okay. To be safe, because I don't know how exactly what it is that they are using for people works. I just know that it does. I will stay at a distant enough perimeter from you guys so that if there is a range on that, it just looks like I'm in forest.
Okay.
But close enough that it will be easy for you to see.
Okay. That works.
Until you have that kind of thing in place.
And again, I'm not. If they see us all, what are they going to see? That we're in the middle of the forest somewhere?
I don't know how it works. I'm not. I know how some of the more limited things with objects work, but I was not.
And
Is,
with the objects, would it be able to tell you exactly where it was and all the
What's the
details about
wizard's
what's
name
around
again?
it?
Sionis.
Sionis.
At
Does
the
it look like
lower
Sionis
levels,
is
no,
kind of
but
done
there are
for the
people
moment?
that were above
Is he
me.
still
that-
going?
You guys are outside.
Balance.
He's
If I
he's
just, like,
inside.
look at-
Kind
Inside real quick, is he
Akai,
done?
one of those super.
It's too deep for
high,
you to be able to
talented,
see
powerful
him
people?
from the mouth.
Okay. I will
Given
having
who
your
his
go and I'll look through his eyes.
stepfather is,
Looks like he's done. Looks
it
like
wouldn't
he's
surprise me
sort
if
of
he had
doing some quick sketches of the
I'll
More-
wall.
have Inger bring him back.
developed powers than most.
Okay.
So you
This
see
way.
Ingir fly in, land on Sionis' shoulder, and sort of start pulling him towards the what?
Just follow him. It's fine.
Okay, what is this thing?
Don't ask questions.
Okay,
But I feel like it is safe to assume he was always very skilled in school. But having stayed where I had left and his stepfather being who he is, I suspect that he would be on the higher end of the skill spectrum. I don't imagine he would be
Okay.
one of the highest because he's still young and he would have had to have covered a lot of ground.
I mean, worst case scenario, if they do come for you, at least it'll, like Alma said earlier, it'll be on our turf. We'll be in a fortified location. So,
Excuse me.
I mean, there are much worse places we could be if we actually had to try
That
and
is
hold
true.
them off somehow.
Okay.
We'll be in a fortified tower. It's got a wall around it with a gate and a portcullis and arrow slits, and I wanted it to be like a portable base. So I think
good.
we'll be good.
Okay.
And I think they'll have a hard time tracking down a tower in the middle of the forest.
Hopefully, yes.
Yeah.
Here we can ask a question. You're well versed in magic, right?
Yes.
Do you know of magic that can look upon someone wherever they're at?
Yes.
Are there ways of counteracting that?
I believe there are. I would have to. I'd have to look in some of my books, but I believe there are.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go with my plan.
Right.
Red light
no,
room.
But I'm asking the one person out of all us who
Yeah.
actually knows about magic.
Anything.
I feel slightly offended at that, but okay.
I mean,
I mean,
Yeah.
you don't know
Yes.
everything, I
If
assume.
only
I mean, he's 300 years old. He's
No, but I'm not sure he knows everything either.
nobody.
no one knows.
He doesn't know how they track people.
Well, if it's what Simi is saying, it's the whatever the scrying is.
Yeah, but he didn't. I asked, so he told us that they had ways to track him using magic, but he doesn't know how it works either. So
Right.
There are some
I don't
specifics
have I don't have to
that get a little lost and variable
Is there
levels.
something is there somebody we're worried about?
Our friend here is worried about being tracked
it is
by
possible
the
that
Impellian
the Appellian Order might specifically be looking for her. So they might
Her
try and locate
specifically.
her. Now, I'm of the opinion that I don't think they'll be able to pinpoint us exactly where we are, so at best they're going to see that we're in the middle of the wilderness somewhere. Whoop-de-freaking-do. There's a lot of that.
Why are you looking at me like that? That's weird. Stop looking at me like that.
And you feel an aura of magic sort of settle onto your skin.
What was that?
Why do I itch?
She should
That's
be
psychosomatic.
she should be free of detection for at least 8 hours.
Oh, there you
can
go.
just
See?
do that?
See? We got it covered.
It's a nice talent to know that you have. Thanks. for
And see,
sharing
between that
with us.
and then we can probably make you some like medallion or headband or something that blocks you out for good, and we're good to go.
Tinfoil hat.
Well, that would take a little bit of doing, but
Yes, please.
I mean, creating magical items
You'll make
is
one for you.
is
Yep, tinfoil
quite
hat.
difficult.
Not for him.
You call that a hat?
What?
He makes them quite easily.
Ezekiel will make you a metal hat.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Cat's out of the bag.
So,
Yeah.
are you back out yet?
No, nobody's come to get
Okay,
me. I'm
hang on.
talking.
Get Alma and see if he's ready to go. I don't want to have to explain this a
I
third
will,
time. Give me a minute.
Go back into
Okay.
Angier and Inger will fly to you and start tugging on your shoulder.
1 second. I'll finish up my conversation.
And then I will come back out.
Okay, sorry. Wanted to explain this to you and Jonas weren't here the first time I explained it.
After
Place we're going. I have this stone. I'm gonna
Can
plant.
we just start walking before we... Like, let's just be on our way.
Actually, we might just be able to over there again. Anyway, we'll get there. Stone goes in the ground.
Okay.
Within a day, around that stone, there will then be a large 3-story stone tower and a 15-foot stone wall. It'll be a little fort thing.
Cool.
So we've got that. I'll show him Hector.
Fascinating.
Yeah. So anyway, making a magic probably won't be hard. Do a lot.
Okay.
But I had to take it apart. But back in town, I had this sand table that would show all the magic sources in the town.
Well, that could be useful.
You would think that it would, wouldn't you? You would think that it'd be real easy to locate things. You'd think it wouldn't be like there was a bajillion different sources of magic crammed into that one little town, wouldn't you?
One would imagine.
One would think.
I think there were more people who used magic in the town than didn't.
I believe you are correct.
Huh.
Something in the water.
Or it's probably because this
And
is
there
the
was
farthest
this
reach
like
of the Empire.
low-level magic field just everywhere.
Have you been teaching kids magic?
No.
Oh.
No.
Cabbage's
Although-
children are just like Cabbage's
Cabbage's children.
sisters and siblings.
It might have been from the
Sorry, James,
runoff
actually.
from the glacier, actually.
The huh?
What?
You mean the
The glacier. up.
Okay, we'll circle back to that. If I give you a bunch of details and we do the weird mind transfer thing for where the place is that I want to build up the tower, can you us there again?
That was a weird place to have a snap instead of a word. Just saying.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so using Endgear, I will show him on a map and give him all the details I have for like, this is the spot I want to go to.
So much better than
Okay.
walking.
We have convinced our friend here
Which
to
friend? Oh,
remain with us instead of going back to town.
Yes.
I thought I told you that was a bad idea.
Also, did you know what she did
Did I know what she did where?
Last summer.
to the soldier?
Oh yeah.
How did you know?
She asked me to make her a cloak.
I didn't realize that he knew why I was doing that.
She's
So
really worried. that someone else
vigilante
is going to
now?
take the blame for that.
Oh, I mean, somebody's probably going to take the blame regardless. Like, that's just how
Cool.
this works.
Yep.
I mean, if I
That's what I told her, and I said, odds are they'll just assume it was one of the
Yeah,
shape
sure.
changers, and like, it's just
Yeah.
one more
The
reason
gut
that
goes
lists
away.
the
still
reasons
not
why they
okay
want
with
them.
that.
There's a flash of blue.
Ooh, pretty.
We really need to figure out a way to do this more often. This is real handy.
I mean, we have him now.
I like you.
Shall we?
Yep.
All right.
I just met you. I don't know if I like you or not.
Where does that land us?
Inside the mountain. We're dead.
Miscalculation!
Inside the collapsed mountain.
Oh no. Just east.
So there's a bit of a clearing there, kind of the as you remember it, as you recall it.
So,
Well off the road, no paths, not even any game trails that you can see.
I'm going to put my sack down,
Okay.
flip it open. First thing I'm going to pull out is this weird, like, conjoined crystal thing. I'm going to set it on the ground and turn it. Alright, so, nobody walk more than 50 feet from this thing
Okay.
for now. Otherwise, you will find it very difficult to get back here.
Okay.
Um, yeah, it creates reasons for why you don't want to. It confuses you and makes you feel uncomfortable and reminds you of things you forgot to do. So hopefully you turn around and go somewhere else and not here. It should deter other
Harry
people
Potter.
from finding us. Okay, and then I'm gonna pull my big stone out, go plant it,
Stop
let
playing
it
with
do
your
its
rocks.
thing.
Get it, kill you.
Stones
and then I'm just gonna start pulling other all the stuff we brought, and so
Okay.
like the tents and other people's gear and everything, and just start distributing.
What do you need me to do?
So the block that you set down is actually it looks like a solid block, and it's got carved on it what looks like a wall. The two of you who have been to Costas and been to a bigger city would recognize that it's sort of a stylized city wall, complete with towers and crenellations and all of that. And then the rest of the block sort of supposedly, it's above it, but it's supposed to be behind it. Looks like it's been carved into what looks like a tower, a multi-level tower, peeking up over the wall.
Okay.
And Killian presses
Bailey and
a little dimple on the top that sort of sinks in a little bit, and then walks away. And over the next 4 or 5 hours, there are little
4 or 5 hours.
It takes like a day to get set up.
clinks
Okay.
and clanks
It's like 8
inside
hours.
this block
I didn't remember it.
before anything starts to happen. And then after about the 4-hour mark, the walls start to press out on all sides, and then up, and then thicken, and then the tower goes up, and it's just like juts and starts,
That's
and
cool.
it's
That
like
was like most of your time building.
it's like a very, very slow transformer. just
than
little
meets
bits
the
moving
eye.
around all over the surface of it, and over the course of about 12 hours, it pushes out, and the wall itself is
Let me look up exactly what I put down because I wrote it down. So I
because
wouldn't
it's
have to
15
remember.
feet out from the tower, and the tower is like 35 feet on a side.
Wow.
Yeah, so the central keep is 35 feet to a side and 40 feet tall. And then the retaining wall is 20 feet high and is 15 feet out from the keep.
Wow.
Wow.
How heavy is that rock?
Not super heavy. I mean, it's like a big
I was just curious.
big stone, but
So I can't actually go far enough away for it to look like just woodsy if somebody peeks in on me.
At the end of when it's getting close to the 8 hours, Sionis comes back over to you and he does the little thing on your forehead
Yeah, you did.
again.
Okay.
And like you can walk away, but like this, my contraption here, like if you're, so if someone was walking towards us at first, they'd sort of feel a little uncomfortable. They'd feel a little, their mind would wander to other things they were supposed to do.
Mhm.
If that doesn't work, if that doesn't convince them, hey, maybe I should go away,
And what was the radius on that?
you didn't tell me, so I assumed.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
okay.
I assumed that like towards the center of it there was enough space that the keep and like the rest of that clearing would be good, and then it radiates out. I don't know
We'll,
how
s-
far.
we'll
Far enough to
say
be
we'll say
effective.
50-foot internal radius. So I mean, basically right at the
Yeah.
keep is where that second zone starts up, and then about 100 feet
Okay,
for the
I would
lower
write
lower
that
level.
down, just
I'll,
so you
I'll
have it
remember.
ready.
So if that doesn't work, you'll start to feel really uneasy, and you'll get a little paranoid and on edge. Like you'll start seeing shadows move, that sort of thing, to hopefully creep anybody out. So you can just walk right through it, but you'll feel uncomfortable, and it'll get worse and worse and worse until you get here. So hopefully, if someone's out wandering the woods looking for us, unless they know that we're here, or they're not easily shaken and are drawn towards sources of paranoia, they're not going to want to come here.
Can you turn that on and off?
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's a group of people, and can the paranoia be so bad they turn on each other?
No. It won't, it's not powerful enough to actually, like, force them to go away. It basically, if they know where we are,
Okay.
or if they're really determined to find us here,
Yeah.
they can walk right through it. But if
Yeah.
you're out searching, this should hopefully deter them so no one's going to accidentally stumble upon us.
Okay.
I'm hoping only people who know where they're going will actually find us. So it's not foolproof, but
Yeah.
Right.
That checks out.
Nice.
So what is everyone
Well
doing
done.
for 8 hours?
Cards.
I am practicing juggling, and I'll tell stories to our friend of the things we've seen.
Okay.
I have a long conversation with him about stuff, but
Okay, we'll deal with
Magic
it.
stuff.
We will deal with all of that.
I am going to bust out some of the alcohol that you brought for me and sit and write and kind of be.
oh, and I would have
Quiet.
pulled some stuff that would have been in your room and just been like, this was stuff like I thought maybe you'd want it since you'll be here for a bit. So
Not really a lot of stuff. There's a dress my mom made me. And
there's like a vase of flowers. I'm like, I didn't know if it was important. Like,
I giggle a little as I go.
I guess I will
Thank you, Killian.
attempt to meditate and see if I can get an answer for some questions I have.
so I'll pull out the 2 soldiers' uniforms. So we borrowed 2 of these from your dad.
Oh, okay.
We told him
Yes.
about it. He's going to make
Yeah.
replacements. And then I'm going to pull out some cloth to make more. We figured it might be not a bad idea if we have one for each of us. Just in
All
case.
right.
Not, you don't have to do it now, but just
Yeah.
wanted you
Wait
to
from
know,
it.
And
just in
I'll help
case.
you too. So
I can just go home and do this. yeah, no problem.
just start knitting.
You're knitting.
It's fine unless they look real close at it.
Yeah, as long as you're from like 50 miles away, it's
It's
fine.
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 All right.
give me a
Mizuki,
fox.
Yes.
what else? What did you do after these guys left and you sent the messages to Killian?
This bush went to bed. Had a comfortable night's sleep.
What time would it be by then?
She got appointments.
So that would have been, I mean, that would have been like right about dark.
Yeah. Okay.
First game we played.
Yeah, that's not a bad plan.
I would probably make a round around town
Okay.
and just see who's there.
Okay. It's still fairly quiet around town.
Okay.
You do, as you're passing through the city center, you do notice that Lars is sort of leaving the town hall for the evening. His guards around him, or the soldiers around him, are saddled up. They've got his horse, and he climbs in the saddle, and they trot off out of town, headed towards the garrison. You didn't see anybody with them, so it's just Lars and the soldiers.
Okay.
beyond that, it's just the regular nighttime routine that you've become accustomed to in town.
The Impaler woman retracts her last location, and then they look and crest a hill, and it's like, there's like thousands of dead goblins here. What happened?
She punched them all.
Right.
She's beginning to believe.
Mizuki. Alright. She'll go back to the inn
Okay.
after making all her rounds. Seeing, like, she just wants to keep an eye and make sure, I mean, that, like, if there's any movement, then she'd want to alert people. But,
Okay.
yeah, she'd
We
probably
have
go back to
someone
the
on
inn.
inside.
She might use her key to get into Lars'
Okay.
room. Yeah.
So the
Surprise.
room is. I mean, you've
I've
been there
Yes.
during the daylight when there were servants and stuff around taking care of things, and as you key in, the lights are out. There's no lamps lit, no fire in the fireplace. There's a little bit of light coming in, a little bit of moonlight coming in from the window, but not a lot. It's enough to see by, and it's pretty much as you remember it, as you've seen it before.
Okay. There's like not like anything like are there like any like documents or No.
There's not, no.
okay.
You get a sense he probably, if he's got that kind of thing, he's either moved it to the garrison or he's keeping it on his person.
Okay. That's fair. She just wanted to
Just wanted to check and see?
Yeah.
Okay.
There
Still something for me.
can she find any I guess can she find any of his hair?
Make an investigation check.
Okay.
That's not creepy.
I'm both creeped out and intrigued.
As am I.
Polyjuice.
Whole component, yeah.
Yeah,
polyjuice potion.
yes. Polyjuice potion. 13.
Voodoo doll.
Surprise.
You're really right.
13?
Oh, 13?
Yeah, 13.
So it just drops.
Yeah, I mean, there's some on, there's some on his pillow.
Okay.
He does have there's a masculine sort of brush on one of the sideboards
Okay.
that you can pick a couple off
All right,
of.
yeah, that's-
Some that he's sort of shaved off whiskers wise in the wash basin there.
She'll just tuck that into her kimono.
All right,
Yeah, for safekeeping.
right. Safekeeping.
Safekeeping.
Okay.
Research.
Research. Research.
Gross.
Research, and
Yeah.
then what?
She's going to detect magic
Ooh.
Okay.
and see if there's anything magic in the.
You are not detecting anything magical in Lars's bedroom.
Okay.
But you just set off the signal in his room.
It's a trap.
My lord.
wouldn't
There
just
isn't
eat tonight.
anything like. I guess there wouldn't be anything else magic around, would there?
No.
Okay. All right. She will go back to her room.
Okay. Make me a perception check real quick.
Okay.
So its natural state should be down.
23.
Okay. You're fairly certain that when you left your room, you locked the door behind you.
It's unlocked.
It is unlocked.
Somebody did it to you too, rude.
Okay.
Oh, how the turns have tabled.
Okay.
Cabbage took
Is there
for your room,
any, like, is there any, do I see anyone around? Do I see any signs of anyone?
There is a fire burning in your hearth, and there is a shadow standing in front of it.
So romantic.
Done. Done. Done.
too. Miss Ito, we've been waiting for you.
Okay. I.
Shoot him! Run away!
Hello.
Okay.
Inflict wounds at 4th level.
You have 4th level spells?
I'll just clear my throat.
Ah, Mizito, as Akurai turns around. We really need to discuss your family's history of hiring changelings. And that's where we're going to leave it for the night. Thank you guys for joining us, and thank you for letting me have that little cliffhanger. I'm looking forward to where this one goes.
You level up?
We haven't done anything yet, though.
True.
Like,
Yeah.
just-
We witnessed a massacre.
Witnessed a massacre.
Hey, you don't have to fight to gain experience
That's true.
points, okay?
That is true. We've done a
I
lot of
was just
crap.
wondering because last time I leveled up was right before we entered the Kobold Cave. So.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute, but
Yeah, it's been-
Yeah, not this go round. Not this go
Okay.
round. So thank you guys for joining us. Hope you had a good time. We will see you guys next week, same time, 6 o'clock Mountain Time.
I knew.
Be sure you join us so that you can keep up with the ongoing adventures of the Glassbreakers Guild. A couple
it is.
reminders here on the
just to
tail
reconcile.
end.
No.
You can
It's
find all of our back
actually-
episodes on the YouTube channel. You can go check it out. We've got this campaign.
Yes.
We've got Danny's campaigns. She's in the middle of a second one now as well. But
Definitely
you've
not
got,
the middle.
well, okay. She's just starting a second one. But we've got all her full first campaign. We've got my first full campaign. So you can go and watch those guys. We've got some one-shots, a little bit of VR, a little bit of board gaming, whole lot of stuff. Go check it out. While you're on the YouTube channel, be sure you subscribe and hit the little bell icon so you'll always be notified when new stuff goes up. We also run our Discord server, so you can come hang out with us online there. Good place for news. Anytime anything happens that causes us to have to shift the schedule, Discord is going to be our place of choice where we put that information. So if you're subscribed there and you're making sure that you check in on that regularly, you'll always know what's going on with this campaign, as well as with Kyrie's creative streaming and Danny's creative streaming. One final little shout out for Pan Streams. They are providing audio and sound effects for Steven for his spellcasting when it comes up. Mostly story driven. In the heat of battle, it gets a little bit dicey, but for a lot of fun things that we've done, like the funeral for one of our characters, the Pan Streams audio has come into play, and it was really, really cool. So go check them out. Super nice guys, super cool. They also are letting him have access to those absolutely free of charge. So go check them out and give them a little bit of love and support as well. That's all I've got. Until next time.
Grab your bats and grab your balls!
And if all you have is a hammer, everything is a glass house. Good night, everybody.
Good night.